Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
It's Monday night. The Sports Hounds are live on A2D Radio from the Real Talk Studios, Mount Ephraim, New Jersey. Like each and every Monday, we're brought to you by Gibson Mara LLC, certified public accountants. Visit GibsonMaraLLC.com, 215-369-3300. Sports Hounds also brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center, premier sports center located in the heart of Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Visit them at www.scanzanosports.com, 856-889-3434. Football is back. We got football, we got baseball, we got Kyle Meager, we got Brad Ryer, I'm Rob Brickman, Frank Vesby on the ones and twos. And, fellas, I'm itching to talk about some football. Let's put the baseball aside until YouTube Hour 2. Let's get to the Scanzano Sports poll question of the night. Will the Philadelphia Eagles represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? Hashtag agree, hashtag disagree. Let us know on Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, Instagram, Download Junkies, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio. We're all over the place. Share the shit out of this, folks. Help us get worldwide. Brad, I'm going to go to you first. Agree, disagree. Will the Eagles represent the NFC in the Super Bowl?
Disagree.
You going to hashtag it?
It's pretty simple.
Hashtag it?
Hashtag disagree.
So, not really a shocking breaking news response there, Kyle. But, you want to share your work a little bit? Let the fam know why you think the Eagles, other than your just total bias towards
Well, I don't think the
Philadelphia
Cowboys
Eagles
are going to win either. I can't stand them either.
Who's going to win?
So, you're
I
a
like New
Saints
Orleans.
guy?
I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be a team on a mission this year. I know they feel like they were robbed last year, and I think that team's going to be focused from week 1 to week 16. They're going to end up getting home field advantage, and we all know how tough they are to beat at home. And, if their offensive line can stay healthy this year as opposed to what happened towards the end of the season last year, I think this team will get to the Super Bowl finally. And Breeze can win a Super Bowl and then leave.
Okay.
I think they've got the
Home
the
field
most
advantage in that division, though. The NFC South, a pretty good division, Kyle. I don't know if their number one seed is going to be coming out of there. Panthers are good. The Falcons are good.
But they always find a way to lose big games.
Who?
Both the Falcons and the Panthers, especially the Panthers.
Yeah.
What have the Panthers done? What have the
They've
Panthers
both
really
been
done
jinxed by Super Bowl losses.
What have the Panthers done the last 3 years?
Nothing.
Really, nothing.
I mean, Cam Newton was hurt last year. They were 6-2
Tampa
before.
Tampa Bay is going to be as bad as the Giants. I think we all agree
I'll
on
take
that.
Nobody's
that
going to be as bad as the Giants.
I think the Giants are going to
Nobody.
have the first overall pick in the draft. And
Good
we're
thing
going
we'll
to
get
go
Tua.
around the
Then they have
NFC
the
East, around the
minus
NFC.
one
Then we'll
pick in
get
overall
Tua.
draft.
So that's okay with
Yeah,
me.
but what was the point
Well,
of drafting
then you
Daniel
drafted
Jones?
Daniel
Well,
Jones. So you're going to
because-
pay Eli $21 million. You're going to take Daniel Jones 6, and then you take Tua next year in the
That
draft.
makes no sense. You would
I mean,
trade that
come on.
pick away, 100%.
no, I would.
Unless,
I mean,
that,
the
was,
Cardinals
unless
got-
that was your plan the whole time.
I would do what the Cardinals
Why would that be
did.
your plan the whole time? That doesn't
to make
make any
it look
sense.
like
Oh,
they're drafting
well,
the QB so they could just
Gettleman-
tank.
No, Gettleman, because Gettleman will be gone, and we'll have a new general manager.
That's
what I'm kind of
that makes
hoping for,
sense.
because I think Gettleman is a fool, and we need him to be out of there. So that's my opinion is Tampa Bay is going to be just as bad as the Giants. So Tampa Bay is going to stink. I don't like Carolina at all. Atlanta and New Orleans is one hell of a rivalry. So I would say 1-1, but so they'll be 5-1 in the division. I think the Eagles will probably be 5-1 in the division too. I think Dallas will be 5-1 in their division as well.
That's about accurate, actually.
I
I have us losing to Dallas one game. So,
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you're
Yeah.
probably split with them, and realistically speaking, that's probably what's going to happen. And boy, Washington signing Eric Flowers to be on their offensive line.
They stink too.
That's
Boy,
gonna be
The
oh,
Giants
boy.
might not even finish last in the East.
I don't know about that.
I
I think we
that.
kind of have that one.
The Redskins are bad.
Yeah, but the Giants are. Have
Yeah,
you seen
but
their
we're really
roster?
bad.
They're really bad.
Yeah. I know. It's
We're really bad.
Dumb
I mean,
and dumber.
They still
at
have
the-
Eli Manning with that fucking. I don't know what to call that face. It just bothers me just watching them play. Like it's like a comedy show.
Yeah, I get more of the NFC East later, but Kyle, poll question: the Eagles will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Agree? Disagree?
Okay. I will say this: if Carson Wentz stays healthy the whole year, we'll 100% be in Miami for Super Bowl 54.
Is that where it is this year, Miami?
That's where it is,
Okay.
Miami. Okay, so we'd play in Miami twice this year. This all depends on if Carson Wentz can stay healthy, because apparently, according to Twitter, Carson Wentz and Deshaun Jackson have one of the best quarterback to wide receiver tandems.
That's
going to
be the first play of the season against the stinky
in the
Redskins.
league right now.
It's going to be
Nobody
a
can stop
bomb. It's going to be a bomb to Deshaun.
Yes.
7-0 right off the bat against the stinky
And let me-
clown Redskins.
And it's funny because I actually brought up a tweet. It was funny.
And you know what? He'll probably burn Landon Collins.
All right, so Ed
Because Landon Collins can't cover
the
anybody.
$88 million. Watch your computer.
Yeah,
there.
for,
All right, so-
$88 million, he can't cover anybody.
So Ed Kratz on Twitter said, "Don't know if this is good or
Who's
bad."
Ed Kratz?
It's some guy on Twitter, but he got a lot of retweets, so I'm gonna read
Okay.
it. All right, he says, "Don't know if this is good or bad, but the Eagles don't have a CB cornerback who can defend Deshaun Jackson, who just blew by Maddox for 50-plus touchdown throw from Wentz.
I mean,
Nobody can
Maddox,
stop Deshaun Jackson.
I don't
Yeah,
know
but
how
the problem with
fast
Deshaun-
Maddox is.
The problem with Deshaun Jackson,
He's an older
it-
player. He's
no,
injury
it's
prone.
not. It's not necessarily that. He's a one-dimensional player.
Well, we all know
he's,
that.
He's a
We
deep
all know
threat.
that.
but he's
Yeah,
a
I don't.
one-dimensional
I
player.
disagree with that
Really?
strongly.
Yeah, how do you?
I get it, but his ability to take the top off
He's
the
so
defense
quick.
opens up the middle of the
yeah.
field.
I
It
realize
opens up
that.
so many things. So I disagree that he's a one-trick pony
Yeah,
in that sense.
Well, as
I
far as
think he could
catching the
be-
ball, he's not going over the middle.
I think he could be.
no,
you know,
not
he's not
anymore.
gonna-
he used
no.
to.
Yeah, he
I think he's gonna
that one
surprise a
time
lot
when
of
he
people
got
this year.
when he got
Yeah,
one time he got
it was
clobbered
against Atlanta.
Washington.
It was Atlanta, and I
thought it
was
was
at that
Washington.
game,
I
and I
thought it
thought
was
Deshaun
Washington.
Jackson was dead. And you're absolutely right. After that happened to him, he kind of stopped going
Yeah,
over
I
the
mean,
middle.
He's
did,
playing.
but-
He's playing for a vengeance this year. He wants to win here badly.
No, because
I
Chip
think
Kelly was a douchebag
I
and
think-
released him for no reason. He has unfinished business.
I
pretty
think
much.
that he's a perfect role player for this team.
100%.
I
Wouldn't
think-
surprise me if they went out and got LaShawn McCoy maybe at the deadline.
Hell no.
Why
I,
not?
don't- I just don't like LaShawn McCoy. I don't like him.
Whatever.
I don't
mean,
think
that's-
Buffalo's gonna. I think Buffalo wants to keep him,
Yeah.
in spite of all
I
the
don't
craziness.
Yeah,
with him.
they're going places.
That's another reason why I like the Jets more and more. We're gonna get into the Jets and how much I like them, and because I know you like them, and I know Brad loves
I
Darnold.
think they're gonna be
but,
very good this year.
but the more I look at the Bills, the more I hate them, and the more I look at the Jets, the more I like them. So.
Yep.
But in terms of the poll question, I #agree. The Eagles are going out 14-1 to win the Super Bowl. Once I get my dollars together, I'm
To win
Win
the
the
ball,
Super Bowl.
they have
Win
to
the
win
Super
it.
Bowl.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say to get there.
But-
To get there, would that
For a
would be
team that won just 2 years ago, they have 14-1 odds. That's a lot.
But I agree with the poll question. I think the Eagles and the Cowboys are the two best teams in the NFC. And me and Frank, I looked at it, but I read them off to Frank. I looked at the Saints depth chart compared to the Dallas Cowboys. I don't think the Saints are as good as the Cowboys. I don't think the Vikings are as good as the Cowboys. The Bears have a tremendous defense, but I don't trust their role players at all, and I'm not sure about
Trubisky.
Trubisky.
Mitchell.
Maybe not. I think the Vikings are going to be back with running the ball and defense and running the ball with DiFilippo out of there. I don't think that was a good
don't-
mesh with him and Zimmer at
I don't
all.
really trust the Vikings though. I don't know what it is.
But-
I don't like Kirk Cousins.
I hate
yeah,
Kirk
that's-
Cousins.
that's-
He
that's-
stinks.
we all
you
don't
like
trust
that?
He plays like a bitch. Yeah, it's just.
But you have
I don't
Cook.
like
You
him.
have the best or second best receiving duo in the
They still have
Kyle
a real.
Rudolph tight
They
end.
still have a real good defense.
and they
Xavier Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes is they're a good team. But I look at this Eagles roster, and they have no holes.
No.
They have no Dallas has no safeties. They got to find a way to force turnovers.
Right.
The Vikings have an average quarterback that always chokes.
Mhm.
Cam Newton's always injury prone. They always seem to be Atlanta always seems to be losing big games. The Saints, they're a pretty good team.
They are.
See what they're going to do with Michael Thomas there. Same with Julio Jones with Atlanta. I don't know what Dallas is thinking not paying Zeke. You got to pay Zeke.
I think by the beginning of the season, that situation will be.
Well,
Nah,
it gets all these contracts. Le'Veon Bell set a big-time precedent for these guys to sit out the entire year and play hardball
But did he?
and still get paid. Le'Veon Bell still got his money from the Jets, Kyle.
But he got 4 years, $54 million. Is that really what he sat out for, though? Like, he sat out for
I think
$20
he
million.
wanted
No,
more.
but
Yeah,
he's like
he
the
did.
Rosa Parks of holding out, Kyle.
I know, and did it really pay off? He went to the
It didn't pay off for him per se, but he
set
gave-
the standard.
gave players like Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, and Zeke Elliott, Melvin Gordon, in the Chargers as well. You know, they gave him. They don't have to just sign the dotted line. They have an avenue to go.
It does make
sit
you look
out
like
a year.
a big douchebag, though. Like, I mean,
I wouldn't care about that.
yeah, but the fans want you to play. It's like you're
Who gives a shit about the fans?
They don't
the
care
fans
about
are
the
everything. They
fans.
pay your salary. What are you
Yeah,
talking
but they
about?
don't care about
But
the fans.
my point is,
these
Le'Veon Bell is
guys.
still going to make a lot of money for playing a kid's game.
Well, that's another thing. A lot of people like to call it a kids' game. It's not a kids' game.
You know what I mean?
football?
though.
It's not a
No.
kids' game.
He's not going to the
It's a
office in a
gladiator
suit,
sport.
in a suit and tie,
Bottom
you know,
line,
grinding it
is,
out, punching a time clock.
As far as the Jets are concerned, I want to find out a little bit more about the Jamison Crowder foot injury today. But I think the Jets are going to be a good team this year.
I agree.
The AFC is really loaded. I just don't know if they can make the playoffs
Is the
this year.
AFC low? We're going
Yeah,
around
it
the league.
is.
We're talking a lot of football tonight, but I want to go down the Eagles roster. And I just see a roster. Carson Wentz, really good player. Jordan Howard, solid. Miles Sanders behind him.
Who knows?
He's a rookie. Who knows? But, you know,
Yeah.
Chuck's likes him. I respect Chuck's opinion, so we'll
Isn't
go
it-
with
yeah,
him.
but isn't Chuck's a Penn State fan?
I don't know. Is he, Frank? You speak to
I
that?
can't really verify that.
I do not know. Chucks,
He's a big Miles Sanders
help
fan.
us.
I
know
don't
you
know
like.
if that means he's
No,
a.
because if someone's a big Penn State fan, they're going to be a little biased towards their players.
I understand that, and
Yeah.
and
I know that Chucks went to Rutgers. I know that. But
Okay,
I'm not
so
sure if he
that's
likes,
actually a complete 180
Penn State.
because Rutgers fans hate Penn State fans.
a lot of people hate Penn State
Yeah.
fans.
So
But
that's a 180.
Alshon
so, okay.
Jeffrey, in my opinion, is a top 10 receiver in the league.
Mhm.
Deshaun Jackson, he's really good at what he does.
Yes.
Nelson Aguilar, he was really good in the slot in 2017. Wasn't as good last year. We'll see what he does this year. Zach Ertz, best or second best tight end in the league.
Probably second best.
You think Kelsey's
Probably
better than him?
Kelsey, yeah.
But then you have the line. Lane Johnson's really good. Jason Kelsey's really good. Brooks practicing, not on the PUP list, full participation in practice after tearing his Achilles.
It's impressive.
If he's healthy and right, that's a game changer. 'Cause I wasn't counting on him at all this season.
No, not at all.
And you kind of have a hole at left guard with St. Malu punched in, and Peters is injury prone. But I like the kid Dillard.
Dillard. Apparently, nobody's getting past him in practice.
Well, that's great to sign. I mean, I'm a big Nigel Bradham fan.
Nigel Bradham.
Zach Brown comes in. He's solid. McLeod, Jenkins. They have Darby in there starting right now. I don't know how that's going to hold. I need Sidney
Darby's
Jones.
extremely
Yeah, but I
injury
need
prone.
Sidney Jones to step up and start. I don't know when
This is the
this.
second year in a row Ronald Darby has had a major injury. His Achilles in Week 1 against Washington in 2017, and then he tore his ACL last year. So
Well, he played again in 2017. He
yeah,
dislocated
yeah,
his
he
ankle.
played after 8 weeks though.
Right.
It was a pretty big injury, and we thought our season was over because we had no more corners, but we had a.
Well, we got the
P-Rob.
fine wine. Cravon
So,
LeBlanc
yeah.
saved the day.
There you go.
I mean, I need Sidney Jones to start this year, don't you?
I don't.
Him
care.
and Mills.
I don't really care about Sidney Jones. I think he's a dud. So I'm
The
kind of
the biggest weakness on that team on this team, I think, is who's going to get to double-digit sacks.
That's what I'm looking at. You know,
Is Brandon Graham going to get the double-digit sacks?
probably not.
Malik Jackson. It's tough for an interior lineman unless you're Aaron Donald to get the double-digit.
I'm gonna
sacks.
say Cox gets there.
You think Cox
I
gets
think
there?
Cox gets there.
Vinny Curry's back in the mix. A lot of people are high on Josh Sweat. Barnett is the guy that's
Derek
really got to
Barnett.
get the double-digit sacks.
Yep. Derek Barnett is going to be a beast. You know, I was actually talking to my guys on the weekly roundup on Saturdays. I was saying, would you trade Derek Barnett and Brandon Graham for Jadeveon Clowney? And a lot
What
of
was the first part?
it was Derek Barnett and Brandon Graham for
Yeah, I heard
Jadeveon
Clowney might be on the trading block.
Yeah.
I've heard that.
Now, Clowney gets injured a lot, but
Yeah,
what is
that's
enough
true.
to trade for him? Because I would love to see what he looks like
That's
in Midnight
that's a
Green.
tough one.
You
That's
know.
a tough one.
I would try. I like Derek Barnett. I think he's a good player.
Oh, I do too.
I would be trying to pair Clowney and Barnett together.
Together.
So I would not do that trade.
Okay.
But I'm all for getting Jadeveon Clowney here. He's a tremendous
beast.
talent.
I just remember when he
Give me the
laid
talent.
that hit on the Michigan running back.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
But give me the talent.
Yeah.
I give me as much talent as possible, and I'll figure it out from there. Guys get hurt, but the Eagles had so many injuries last year, and they made the divisional round. They weren't exactly.
It came with some luck.
You need
But,
luck
yeah.
in the NFL. When the talent,
Oh,
when
yeah.
the talent margin is razor thin, you need luck. And then,
You want to compare their roster to the Saints roster? Because
yeah, I do
the Saints
actually.
roster,
Yeah,
I think, is better. You want to go.
Okay.
If you want to look at it, top receiver, Michael Thomas. He's better than any Eagle.
okay,
receiver.
but I like the Eagles group better.
Okay, well, let's see. Jordan
I mean,
Humphrey?
Ted Ginn,
No, he sucks.
Traquan Smith.
Sucks.
Who
Michael Thomas.
else? I'm not going past the third receiver.
Michael Thomas is a
Cameron
beast.
Meredith.
Didn't he shatter his leg last year and he
He's-
can't even play? He just got
Rashard-
released. I'm
yeah, they
pretty
also
sure.
got Rashard Matthews, who's pretty
Who
good.
does Breeze really
Rashard
have to
Matthews
throw
pretty
to?
good.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Jared
He's not
Cook
bad.
at Jared Cook at tight end.
Jared Cook is good.
He's getting older.
He
though.
is not as good as Zach Ertz.
No, but he had 68 receptions and 7 touchdowns last year.
They used to have
which isn't
Benjamin
bad.
Watson, but
They
he
also have the
retired.
best. They also have arguably the best running back in the NFL right now, and
Kamara.
Alvin Kamara, and they have Latavius Murray.
Now
as
that's
a
the one
backup.
thing I'm looking for. Did Ingram make Kamara look better than what he actually is, or did Kamara do it all by himself? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's a significant
Oh, Kamara
downgrade.
was-
That's
Kamara
a
was
significant.
really good.
They relied on both of those guys to have a balanced attack,
yeah,
and
now
Latavius
Ingram's
Murray.
in Baltimore.
Latavius Murray is not
no,
as good as Mark Ingram.
not even
No.
close.
No, I would
So
agree
that's a
with you.
down. That's a downgrade from last
Yeah, but
year.
they still have Kamara, who's still the best running
Now
back
that
in
I'm
the NFL.
thinking about it, I don't think the Saints are going to make the championship game.
Yeah, they will. They're
I
going to
don't
win.
think
They're
so.
going to be in the Super Bowl.
Who does he have to throw to?
Huh?
Who does he have to throw to?
Michael Thomas.
Okay, he has Michael Thomas.
Okay.
Who else?
The
I
tight
know,
end.
I know he's a spread-out
Cook?
quarterback.
I mean,
but
Jared Cook. I mean, are we
Meredith?
kidding me with Jared Cook? Cameron
Matthews,
Meredith.
they got guys
Jared
that
Cook was
they
on
got plenty of
Oakland,
guys.
Tennessee. I think this is like his
Tennessee,
fourth
Yeah,
season.
but you
Green
put him-
Bay. He's
but
been
you
all
put him-
over the league.
you put
Good
him
players
indoors.
He's been passed around like a $2 hooker.
Yeah, but you put him in. You put him indoors, and you put him with Drew Brees in that offense. Doesn't seem to matter. Whoever. It's almost like the New England offense. Whoever they throw out there ends up being a star. It just doesn't really
yeah, but
matter.
they have a guy named Tom Brady.
I
and
think
Bill
the Eagles.
Belichick.
I think the Eagles and the Cowboys and the Bears have more talented rosters than the Saints.
I don't think so. And then you look at their defense; they got lots of good
Yeah,
players
but
on their
there's
defense.
no
as
talk
well.
because you don't.
Nah, I disagree with you guys. And the Eagles.
Let's look at
you look
Dallas.
at their top. Look at
Let's
at
Dallas
New
might
Orleans'
win
Let's
the
look at
East.
the Giants roster. No, I'm kidding.
the Giants.
Let's
We
not-
know
No,
the
no, I'm
Giants
talking about the
stink.
Giants.
We know the Giants stink. You don't have to rub it in. We already know that.
I'm not trying to
okay.
rub it in.
Well,
Maybe
yeah,
I
you
am
are a little bit. Yeah,
You are. It's fine.
You are. You do what you got to do.
We'll be civil and. But
No,
what's-
because we know during the
what's-
week when we lose, he's gonna be like, "Oh, how about that loss yesterday?" And I'll be like,
No, yeah, he's gonna
I kinda
steer.
do that.
You're not gonna go-
He's
you're not
gonna
gonna be
steer into
undefeated.
the wall.
I'll probably have to wear glasses.
You're not
for me
gonna go
being
undefeated.
hungover.
It's like when you get bullied and your parents say, "Well, just make fun of you, make a joke about yourself." So the
Yeah.
other kids, that's what Brad's gonna be doing all
Yeah.
football season.
I'll be like,
There's not much I could say about the Giants.
You can't.
We know they stink.
Can't say anything.
they're really bad. Are you
All right.
gonna go to any games this year, Brad?
Am I gonna go? I never go to games,
You
but I
don't really
watch
go
them
to
all on
football.
TV. Huh? No,
You don't
my
really go to
We
Giants.
should also go
started
to one
going-
in Philly.
If I started going to football games when I go to 16 baseball games a year,
Yeah.
my wife would kill me.
Yeah.
Okay, she lets me go to the baseball games because she knows
Hate
that I
to-
won't do
hate to
I
see
won't
it.
do anything
Yeah.
else. So I have to give her a break in the winter. I mean, I'd like to go to more Ranger games. So I think this is
Oh, we're
be
gonna go to one.
a fun-
definitely going.
we're gonna have some fun this year. I'll tell you what, the buyout period that started today and ends at 5:30 on Wednesday. That's going to be real interesting because the Rangers are $4 million over the cap, and they're gonna have to buy somebody out.
All right, let's get to
Comments,
some
yeah.
of the comments here. Kyle, what's going on YouTube?
All right,
Anything?
so right now on YouTube we have
Back on the tube.
Bryce Blackwell saying, "Yo, A2D Radio, let's go." Did you see Deshaun Jackson's route? Oh my God, I did not see his route, but I heard that no one could stop him at training camp, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah,
to
well,
hear.
with your secondary, of course, nobody can stop him.
What do
You
you
don't
mean
have
our
Marshawn.
secondary?
You don't have Marshawn Lattimore in your
we
secondary.
have a guy named
Come on.
Avante Maddox.
He's not as good as Lattimore. Come on.
He could be.
He could be. Anything could happen.
Hey, Maddox.
Daniel Jones could be the next Tom Brady for all you know. But
true.
he's not.
He could be.
Well, he
True.
could be. He could be. But then Avante Maddox could
Caller
be the
has
Lattimore.
a point.
But I doubt it.
Hey,
None of us have
Avante Maddox was a stud last year in the postseason. So, I mean,
How many games was the postseason?
It's two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two.
And he was a stud against the Rams. That was in the regular season. Pretty much put.
Well, that was the
Robert
Rams
Woods on
when
ice skates.
all their good players were basically their receivers were basically
just
injured.
one player was out, and
Well,
that was
Cooper
Cooper
Kupp.
Kupp.
Well, and they also what's his name was Todd Gurley
We were
wasn't playing
13-point
either.
underdogs in that game.
I know, but Gurley wasn't
we
playing
won.
either.
Won the game outright.
No,
Yeah.
you won the game. That was an impressive win.
It was, wasn't it?
That was a very impressive win.
I was like, what the
What,
fuck is happening?
what else are we going? What else are we doing? I had the Eagles plus 13 that game.
I had the money line, actually.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was like plus 800, I think. Something crazy.
Stealing.
And Jay Hot says, I said it for 3 months now, Colts versus Eagles in the Super Bowl. I like that prediction.
I like that
I
prediction
think the
too.
Colts are going to be very good this year.
I like the Steelers as well.
Andrew Luck and Wentz run this year. Watch.
Like the Steelers too. Like
Yeah.
I like the
Is
Ravens
that, are we
too.
up to date? Because we had a bunch of shit going on Facebook.
Yeah, there's a lot on YouTube too, but it's all like kind of like yo. No.
Okay.
We'll get back to you
No
guys on
substance.
YouTube.
No
we're gonna,
substance.
we're gonna do Facebook right now because you guys will always be there on YouTube. So we'll just go to Facebook right now.
Kevin Goodwin, to answer the poll question, hashtag disagree, definitely win the division and have a bye, but I think Breeze makes it back, so he agrees with you, Brad. Greg Malakovic, you can see Greg on Sunday and Wednesday.
What's up,
on
Greg?
Agree to Disagree and AM and the PM, respectively. What's up, fellas? I'll agree with the poll, which is bad news for everyone if I'm having positive thoughts. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, because he disses the Phillies. Like
What is he,
every
the,
day.
I mean, the Phillies deserve to get dissed. I mean,
Is
they
he the
got
local-
embarrassed to
is
get
he the
again.
local jinx? Is that the problem?
No, Greg is
Watch the Phillies win the World Series.
Greg is a glass half empty Philadelphia sports fan.
As he should be. I mean,
He's not the only
He's a
one.
realistic fan.
Well,
I like that.
At least he's realistic.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, but he picked the Vikings to beat the Eagles in the 2017 NFC Championship game.
A lot of people they were favorites in that game.
I know.
Yeah, but they should. They were
laughed
full.
all the way to the
They were
back.
full.
Home dog in the championship game.
They were false favorites.
No one
though.
Bet it till my fingers bled.
No one believed in Foles. That's why. And then all of a sudden, P-Rob got that pick six. Whew, it was over from there.
Absolutely.
Max Haxton, thoughts on Scandrick coming into an already crowded defensive
sucks.
secondary?
He's
Will he
so
play?
bad.
Will he be cut? Orlando Scandrick sucks, Matt.
He's so bad.
Orlando Scandrick is not going to play. Orlando Scandrick will be cut.
Was Orlando Scandrick on the Chiefs?
Orlando
secondary last year?
Scandrick, I believe
I believe
he
he
was.
was.
Yes. Orlando
was
Scandrick
horrible.
was
He's
on
not good.
NFL
No.
Network 2 weeks
He's
ago.
not good.
He is not going to be on the football field on
Yeah.
any meaningful plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. If he is on the field for any meaningful plays for the Eagles, the Eagles
That's
will
a bad
not
thing.
be good. He was signed because Cravon LeBlanc sprained his foot and is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. Once
Long time.
Cravon LeBlanc is healthy, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, 100%.
And Scandrick will be out of here. I hate that signing.
Scandrick is
It's
really,
just-
really. He's just an awful
By the way,
player.
who did that guy that Green Bay cut the Pro Bowl defensive lineman? He signed with the Lions.
He
right?
is on Detroit. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
What a useless sign.
Andy Ritter, have a great show, boys. You can see Andy
Thanks,
Ritter
Andy.
on In This Very Ring, a great wrestling show that airs Sundays at 5 on A2D Live. Trevor Harris, I don't trust the Jets at all. We're going to kick around the rest of the NFL because I don't really agree with Trevor.
I don't
I like
either.
the Jets more and more as I look into them.
Problem with the Jets is they've got a very, very difficult schedule to open up.
Kevin Godwin, who has Deshaun played with to prove that he can do anything other than run straight line routes? Deshaun will break
Thank you.
1,200
Who
yards.
There
said
you
that?
go.
Wait, who said that?
Wait. Who has Deshaun played with to prove that he can do anything other
What?
than run straight line
Who is it-
routes?
what does it mean?
Deshaun
who's
will
he
break
played with?
1,200.
In other words,
yards.
he's saying he's. I think
Yeah, but
he's
he has Deshaun having 1,200 yards receiving.
What does that mean?
It's like a
If
double
he-
negative.
If he
I don't
has,
understand
if
his
he has
his
1,200
comment.
yards receiving, you guys are going to
He's
be
not gonna-
celebrating.
he's
That's
not
a
gonna-
lot of yardage for him.
He's
well,
gonna
his
have,
best
like,
year was in
75 yards.
2013
That's 75 yards a
with
game.
Chip Kelly. So he had like 1,300 yards.
And then he got cut.
Then he got cut. Like
After
literally
his
2 weeks
career
after.
year, yeah. Then he got cut. But, McNabb got him the ball down the field. McNabb was a pretty solid player.
He was.
Like, he always tore it up with Ryan Fitzpatrick.
All right, here-
Jameis Winston never really.
I want to say something about the Jets real quick.
Okay.
Okay, because this is what concerns me about the Jets. Listen to their schedule to start the season.
Okay, but you don't know who's going to be good and who's not.
Yeah, but this is pretty much locked in that they're going to have a tough start. Okay, They start with the Bills and the Browns. Okay, both home games. They better
okay,
be.
but you tell
they
me
better
every
be 2-0.
you tell me every week how the
they're
Cleveland
not gonna be
Clowns
2-0.
They
are
better
gonna
be
stink.
2-0.
The Browns are going to be good.
Okay, then at New England, at Philly.
Okay.
Then they got the
They're not gonna beat
Cowboys.
That's gonna be a tough game.
Then they got the
not gonna beat
Patriots
us.
again. Okay. Then
Yeah,
they got
got to
the
play
Jaguars.
the Patriots twice. They're in the same
That
division.
is, I mean, but to start the season,
That's
that is
not-
a
The Jets have
killer.
never beaten us in their franchise's history.
no, they have
I'm
not.
just saying that it's not.
Now
they're not
after
a
that,
pushover
after
like
that,
they have been in years
after that,
past.
it's real. It
Do you
gets
want
real
to?
easy.
Do you want to
but
hear the
I'm
last
just saying,
2 games?
those games are going to be tough games for them.
Do you want to know the last 2 games we played the Jets in the regular season?
You've destroyed them.
No. The
I
last.
remember we beat
the
them.
last
I
game
remember we
played,
beat them
we
there.
were like 0-4. All right, and
No,
Darren
we were
Sproles runs back
0-2.
a punt return, and
I remember we played them 0-2 when Chip Kelly was really feeling
was
the heat, and
bad,
they
yeah.
beat they
They
beat
beat
them
the hell
up
out of
there.
them.
that was a really bad season.
Yeah.
And when Sanchez got destroyed against us, it was like
That was down
45
here.
to 13. That was here. It
Yeah,
was
but that
freezing.
wasn't more him as much as it was the Jets.
They were playing for the
defense.
playoffs.
No, but that
I
was
don't
the
remember
Jets
that.
defense that
Yeah,
played.
Where was that?
2011.
The Jets defense was terrible.
So that was
game.
a McNabb team.
No, that was Vic.
Oh, Vic got into him.
Yeah,
I don't remember Vic getting into the.
that was Vic. That's when we had Casey Matthews, and he brought back a pick 6.
If Casey Matthews is getting a pick
Yeah.
six against you, then you're
Yeah, I was
You're in
out thinking
trouble.
it was freezing, and I was up top.
Deion Brown, what's
when I was
good,
broke.
guys? As long as Carson Wentz can stay healthy, then the answer to the poll question is yes.
Yep.
And the defense ball out, then I can see us back in the big
We
game.
got some smart people in the comment section tonight. I like it.
Got a lot of people.
Bob
who are gonna be very
Brinkman.
disappointed this year.
Bob Brinkman, Deshaun opened up the Tampa game last year with a TD. Yeah, he totally burnt our entire secondary.
Yep.
We got Fitzmagic.
And everyone
Tard.
saw that coming, too.
Yep.
I was like, he's going to run a 9, and what do you know?
I
It happened.
bread on the Eagles that game. I got shredded.
I learned not to bet my own team, honestly. Unless it's week
That's
1,
true.
minus 8.5 is kind of juicy.
He has plenty left. Deshaun has plenty left up the sidelines. Yeah, I agree. He can still run. He's still one of the. Still run go routes and take the top off the defense. Totally agree with Bob. Trevor Harris. I don't trust the Bears on offense. I don't trust Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. I guess Trevor's a Packers guy in
Trevor
that division.
Harris?
Trevor Harris.
No, Trevor Harris is, oh, in that division.
In that
Okay,
division,
okay.
I guess that's his pick because he doesn't trust the other 2 teams. Trevor
Okay.
Harris. Saints are known to play down to their competition. Example: Browns first half versus the Bucks. Bob Brink. Carson's health is key. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, because if Nate Sudfeld has
It's
to play,
so
I don't
obvious.
think Nate Sudfeld is going to be able to channel that. Nick
No.
Foles
Any
magic
team that
at
It
all.
loses
scares the
its
shit
first,
out of me,
its
Rob.
number 1
It scares
quarterback
me
is
so
going to be in
much.
trouble. Let's
Well,
be
except
honest.
the Eagles with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they don't have him anymore.
Brian
so.
Battery, if Carson stays healthy, I'll see you boys on Broad Street. Wilson checks in. What's up?
up,
Wilson,
Wilson?
you see him on Agree to
To
disagree
Disagree.
on Sunday nights.
Willie Middlebrook on YouTube says, "Give."
Okay.
Of course, I bring him up.
Go ahead, yeah, bring
Get-
him up.
Give them Nelson for Clowney. We don't need Nelson. That won't get it done, Bill.
Yeah,
That
you're going
won't
to trade
get it
an
done.
average slot receiver for an elite pass rusher.
That
I
won't-
love these Facebook GMs.
I can't believe I went right to that.
I
It's so funny.
I love these Facebook GMs that think they're just going to, like, teams are just going to give us all pro talents for our players that can't even make our team.
Robert Smith said this is Andy Reid's best chance to win with Mahomes in a Super Bowl. And honestly, I thought last year was their best chance because they had.
I mean, they're going to be every year they have Mahomes. They're going to be right
Yeah.
there. I mean,
They loaded
Mahomes
up.
is-
They
Mahomes-
loaded up their defense.
They
this
should've
year,
won- they
so
should've won last
Did
year,
they though? I mean, I think they're worse on defense because of the scheme change.
Well, I think they'll be better on defense. They have more talent this year.
Once is the future.
I have to look
elite,
into their moves.
um,
Kevin Goodwood, Jets are 8-8 team at best. Just gets a running back. Does not take you from worst to first. Patriots will walk into the playoffs with home field. Yeah, the Jets did a lot more than just add Le'Veon Bell. Jamison Crowder is out of Washington. I think he's a decent player. C.J.
Mosley?
Mosley
They
is
got
a
a good
great
defense.
linebacker.
They got a good defense.
Jamal
Mosley's
Adams-
one of the best in the league.
Jamal Adams is an
got a
all-pro
good
guy. They have
defense.
Leonard Williams. They have Queenan
the
Williams.
guy they just got
have
from Alabama.
Queenan Williams.
Yeah.
Total monster.
Yep.
You know, the Jets,
He
they have
just
some
signed
guys.
too. I mean, they got some guys on
We'll
defense.
see if Darnold lives up. I mean, you think you love Darnold.
He's phenomenal.
Yeah, I like
you
Darnold.
really
You'll
like
see it
Darnold,
this year.
too.
You'll see it this
Yeah,
year.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, if Quincy Anunya can actually play more than 2 or 3 games this year, it'll really help
Robbie
the offense.
Anderson. Robbie Anderson's pretty
Robbie
solid.
Anderson's not bad.
Pretty solid receiver.
He's not
Not
bad.
saying he's Michael Thomas or Julio Jones. But
like
he's
to
a pretty
see
solid
like to
receiver.
see Crowder play all the games.
Yep.
That would really help.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think the Jets' problem right now is I don't like their offensive line. I'm not big. I think they still need.
I
They need to build their offensive
I have the
line a little
Patriots
bit.
winning the East.
Well,
I
yeah,
think
I mean,
the Jets have a chance, and I haven't formulated all my
How can
official.
you not expect the Patriots to win the East?
Yeah,
I mean,
Tom Brady. I think Sony Michel is great. I think
the one thing I will say though about the Jets and I
Stephen Gilmore is a
and I think
tremendous
I do have some legitimacy here is that the Patriots seem to play their worst football in the beginning of the season. And
Right,
the Jets
they
get them
get
twice
better.
early, so maybe the Jets can steal one. I mean you have to hope that can happen if you think that the Jets have a shot.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're going to play the Patriots, the best time to play them is in the first 5 games because it seems like
Deion Brown.
they take that long to get rolling.
They do.
Deion Brown wants to know Clowney. Is that a true possibility? Acquire him in a trade? Thoughts?
Yep.
There's a lot of smoke. I mean,
100%.
I think the Texans would be foolish to trade a guy like that. I don't know
Well-
if they don't have the
well, the
money.
reason
They
why-
don't have money to pay him, or
The reason why it could happen, who said that, Dion?
Deion Brown.
The reason why it could happen is, first of all, it's out of the conference. Second of all, he'd be going to a contender, which means we could give him back pieces that we don't necessarily need. And it's just a perfect fit. It would
Yeah, but
be
here's
awesome.
the thing: the Texans also consider themselves contenders too. If
They're
gonna-
not. They're not contenders.
well, they think they are.
They're not.
Okay, they made the playoffs last year.
Deshaun Watson is the biggest fraud in the league.
Well, that was his first
Think
year in the
he's a fraud?
playoffs.
I think he's a fraud.
That was his
He
first
looked
year.
like a fraud in the playoffs.
He did.
The first year he looked great. Second year, got figured out completely.
Well, let's see what happens this year. This is a big year for him. This could be a breakout year for him.
Yeah, we'll
I
see.
mean, the question is he RG3 or is he gonna be like Donovan? That's kind of the question.
I don't
have.
think anyone will drop off like RG3 did. That was
Well,
pretty bad.
RG3 got hurt too, and Watson had a very serious knee injury. I mean, I thought he played pretty well last year for the most part. I think he just got they just ran into a machine in the playoffs.
Right.
I mean, that's kind of where it was at. I mean, that's why this stuff with Clowney. If they trade Clowney, they're gonna have to get something that's mighty
Probably
good for
be
them.
like Barnett in the first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do that?
Do it again. Say it again.
Barnett in the first.
Barnett in the first, maybe Barnett in the second.
If you're trading,
Clowney's pretty good.
Clowney
I
is
don't know
good.
if that's gonna get it done.
See, I don't believe for a minute that they're really going to trade him. I think that's just a bunch of smoke. I have to see. That's one of those you have to see it to believe it things.
Okay, so Bill Middlebrook on YouTube is saying, "What pieces, Kyle?" That's me. And don't tell me that one won't include Nelson. Okay, well, you're not going to trade Nelson away just for Jadeveon Clowney. It's not going to work. All right, you're going to need a lot more than that. If we give up Derek Barnett
They could use Nelson because I mean
They
TK
can.
Cootie is their number 2 receiver.
and Will Fuller
Will
can never
Fuller's
stay healthy.
always hurt. So
Yeah, I understand that, but
that's a
it's going to
piece.
take more.
That's a piece.
I guess.
Aguilar and Barnett.
Barnett's a touchy subject, though. Barnett could
I think
do
he's
something really
good.
good. Yeah.
But I already know that Clowney is really good.
I'd give away Brandon Graham.
Yeah, but he's older.
Yeah.
Are they going to?
Why would they want Brandon Graham when he's coming off an injury? That's not going to happen.
He said Nelson in a first and a late rounder, done deal. Possibly.
I don't know if that's.
I don't think.
You can't trade a dominant trench player like Clowney for a maybe draft pick and a
Nelson?
receiver,
And a late rounder.
all relatively average receiver in Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
I know that breaks the fan base's heart that Nelson Aguilar is average because he won a Super Bowl, and apparently everyone on the 2017
You know what's
Eagles
crazy about
is
Nelly?
going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
You know what's crazy about Nelly? He's the biggest
It's true, according to
underachieving
the fan base.
wide
Yeah,
receiver
no, I
ever.
understand.
What's that? I'm sorry.
Nelson Aguilar is one of the biggest underachieving wide receivers ever. He has some of the quickest feet I've ever seen.
So did Freddie Mitchell,
Yeah.
and that never seemed to work out either.
I mean, Nelson Aguilar's a little bit better than Freddie Mitchell, but
Freddie Mitchell had all the talent in the world when he was drafted. He was a highly touted draft
Oh,
pick.
yeah.
you know who
Took
we
him over-
picked him over?
Reggie Wayne.
And Chad Johnson. And Steve Smith.
Yeah,
Oh my lord.
as I said, he was a very highly touted
I
player.
met Freddie Mitchell. He's a good guy.
Yeah, I never said he wasn't.
Yeah.
Listen, he made the catch on 4th and 26, and that's going to be his claim to
I was
fame.
at that game. That was sick.
Yeah.
Trevor Harris.
I kind of wish it never happened
Well,
because the next week it was like all for nothing, and we got embarrassed.
That was Carolina.
we got embarrassed.
Ricky,
14-3.
Deion Sanders
Yeah,
had
we
3
we
picks.
scored
Oh, I mean
3
Ricky
points.
Manning. I
We
couldn't tell the
scored
difference
3
watching the game
points.
between Deion Sanders and Ricky Manning Jr. Stinkston and trash.
That was the worst loss I think I've ever seen.
Oh, I was at that game. Wanted to throw up.
Didn't Donovan break his
Well, that-
hand or something?
Yeah,
That-
that guy
that-
Chris Jenkins sacked
we had
him. And
no chance.
that Cardinal game was a pretty bad one too.
yeah, but
Yeah.
but Brad, they showed up that game. They were competitive in
Yeah.
that game. They showed heart. They
see, the
came
thing
back.
about that
They
Eagles
lost at
team,
the end because they couldn't stop Kurt Warner. and Larry
that Eagles
Fitzgerald.
team wasn't that good. They were just hot. They were hot going into
In
the
08.
playoffs.
In
They're-
08.
They were 9-6-1. They went into the playoffs.
I know they actually got in because of that
They
tie
beat the
to
Vikings.
the Bengals.
They beat the Giants because of divisional rivals, and the Giants kind of played
That was
off
the
that
year.
game.
That was the but that was the year Plaxico shot himself in the leg.
Yeah, you're right. We talk about that every
Yeah.
week. And then we played
I didn't
Arizona.
mean to bring
who
it
wa-
up because of that.
and
but
then
I'm
we
just
played-
saying that was a big loss for the Giants.
and then we
No,
played
it was.
Arizona, who was as hot as we were, and they were a little
yeah,
bit
remember
better.
they beat the Panthers like 45-10 in the
Yes.
divisional round that year.
We beat them 45-20 on Thanksgiving, and then they turn around and beat us in the championship game. You just can't predict football. That's why everyone loves football, because things could change. with
Everybody thinks they
snap
can
of the
predict it.
fingers.
Well, how about when
Uh,
Jacksonville blew away Pittsburgh a couple of years ago in the playoffs?
Well, Jacksonville owns Pittsburgh.
I know, but that one year when they beat them 3 times.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
nuts.
yeah, and Jacksonville scored 45 points with Blake Bortles as
Blake
the quarterback.
Bortles shredding.
Yep.
Ralphie Delavecchio. Check Ralphie out on the fix every Wednesday
Ralphie.
at 6. I know he's a Kyle favorite.
Oh yeah.
What's
loves
up,
me,
fellas? Good old
I think.
Phillies, huh, Rob? This team is lost. I couldn't agree more.
Have some
And
faith, Ralphie.
Green
Have some
Clowney,
faith for the
Kyle,
love of God.
Stop. The team stinks.
But it's not over.
I know it's not.
You're
over.
lucky that the NL sucks
Oh,
so
you-
bad
you
that
a
you're
judge.
still
But you
in
just
it.
got-
all right.
But you just got
We got Jason Vargas.
you got one of
We're
the
in.
greatest pitchers of the
Jason
history
Vargas.
of the National League.
75-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yes.
Gotta love it.
But you know what? He's hard to hit though.
Yeah.
But like
And he
you're
looks like
telling
the
us to
he looks like-
believe.
he looks like the Dean
You're
from
telling us to
Accepted.
believe as you chuckle at Jason Vargas. Like if you were a Phillies
But he's
fan,
not your
you'd
ace.
be
He's
He
not your
doesn't- he
ace.
doesn't have to be
He's
your ace.
replacing-
probably the second.
He's replacing
probably the
Velasquez.
second best guy on the team.
He's replacing
pitcher.
Velasquez for so he could go back to the bullpen.
He will give you
know, so-
5.
Zach Eflin threw
He'll give you
80
5
pitches in
solid
2
innings.
2/3 innings.
He'll
Zach
give you-
Eflin's garbage.
Listen, he will give you 5 solid innings every start.
Yeah.
Vargas, and sometimes 6.
Yeah, he throws weird, and that's what throws hitters off.
Well,
so.
that change because his fastball is slow, but he has a changeup
His
off his
fastball's
fastball.
really slow.
Yeah, I know, but his changeup is even slower.
Yeah.
And he gets you on the changeup because you just can't sit there and wait.
Yep.
But that's why you can't let him go through the order 3 times because on the 3rd time they're sitting on it.
Yeah, they're fucked. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard because nobody else throws that slow.
Dave Orozco says he still has faith in the Angels. I was like,
Shocker.
yeah, it's a shocker.
We'll
They do have Trout.
David, you
see what
need-
they do.
David,
See what they
you-
do. They need to add
You
pitching
got-
because
you
Skaggs
got to
died.
get some pitching, and boy, I tell you what, if what's his name was pitching right now, Otani,
Yeah.
it would be a different story for them.
All right, we have about 20 minutes before break here.
That was
I want
quick.
to talk about the Cowboys. I know everyone hates the Cowboys.
Yay.
It's like
But they are your prime competition right now.
yes, and it's probably the only thing that Eagles and Giants fans can agree on, that Dallas stinks. I think Dallas is stupid for not trading or paying Ezekiel Elliott.
Right.
Some people think they should trade Ezekiel Elliott. Jerry Jones says you don't need a rushing champion to win the Super Bowl, even though he had a bell cow Emmitt Smith in his last dynasty. I don't.
The most overrated running back ever.
Emmitt Smith.
Emmitt
Ever.
Smith?
I
Ever.
mean, he was kind of a horse.
Nah, he's the most overrated running back ever.
What are your
was
thoughts
pretty
on
good.
that, Brad?
He was pretty damn good. I'll tell you what. There was a game when the Giants played the Cowboys when the Giants were really good, and
Game
the
where he-
Cowboys were coming. The game when
he had his shoulder.
Yeah, he had a separated shoulder, and he was and in that overtime, it was an overtime game, and he went out there with separated shoulder, and he's running up the middle, and he's banging and knocking guys down. I mean, I had a lot of respect for him for that particular game.
Who would you rather have, him or Barry Sanders?
Oh, I'd rather have Barry, but I'm not
That-
saying
but
he's
I
better
mean,
than
just
Barry.
saying that doesn't mean that Emmitt
If you
Smith's
put-
overrated.
Yeah,
No,
but
because
if
he
you
broke
put
the
Barry-
rushing record.
Oh no, he's not as
Yeah.
as good as Peyton.
He's
and
not the best
as-
running back of all time,
No.
if
Yeah.
that's what you're trying
Well,
to
I'm
say.
saying he's overrated for what he did.
He's not, but he's not the best. We know he's not the best running back of all time. Nobody said he's even close to being the best running back of all time.
I just brought up,
Jim Brown, he's a pimple on an elephant's ass compared to Jim Brown. If you don't believe me about Jim Brown, go onto YouTube and take a look at some of Jim Brown's highlights. It was ridiculous. He could run up the middle. He ran people over running up the middle, and then when he got to the outside, he was faster than everybody. And if you happened to be standing in front of him, he'd hurdle over you because the son of a bitch was a hurdling champion.
Yeah, he's pretty.
He was impossible to tackle. But but I digress.
But
getting back to in today's game right now, Ezekiel Elliott is one of the top 3.
he's the best running back in the league.
And
Saquon.
I'll take
Kamara,
Zeke.
maybe.
I think Saquon's
Kamara's
going to
better.
go.
I don't know.
Kamara's
If Zeke's
going
if Zeke's gonna churn out 70 catches like he did last year, along with what he can do taking the edge and running up the middle,
Zeke is
I'll
a huge
take
part
Zeke.
of their
I'm
offense.
sorry, it pains me to say it, and it pains me to say it's Saquon because he's a giant. But I mean, they're the 2 best running backs in the league, and I'll take Zeke slightly. But now you got Zeke and Cabo. The Cowboys are practicing. You got to pay this guy. To me, the Cowboys have a spectacular roster. But it's not going to be a spectacular season for Dallas if they don't have Zeke happy, healthy, and whole. So I don't know what they're doing. 2 years, $13 million left on his rookie deal. You know, you got to pay this guy. I mean, he's outperformed his rookie deal. It's time to keep this guy happy. I'm paying Byron Jones. I'm paying Van Der Esch, Jalen Smith, Sean Lee. I'm keeping the whole core intact in Dallas except for Dak. I'm playing chicken with Dak Prescott. I'm letting him pick the open. Well, you can franchise him. I don't know what that does to your payroll because the franchise number for quarterbacks is very high.
Do we know what Dallas'
I'm
cap
playing
situation
chicken
is?
all day long with Dak Prescott.
What
because
is Dallas' cap situation right now?
I don't know. Frank, can you help us?
I think they're over.
Can you help us with Dallas' cap situation?
Because there's got to be a
on the
reason
internet?
why
Cap
Jerry
Yeah.
Jones is playing games with
Hold on.
is playing games with Ezekiel Elliott.
I think he's just being stubborn because he's been in trouble, and he doesn't want to give him a big check and have him be suspended or something like that.
But if he gets suspended, he doesn't have to pay him.
I get it. You get it. Kyle gets it. Maybe I don't know where Kyle stands on this argument, but seems like Kyle gets it. Jerry Jones doesn't get it.
And you can word the contract with behavioral clauses if he does anything stupid to get himself in trouble.
See, the thing is, players don't really want to sign that because they know that down the road they could do something stupid.
Well, yeah, but you know what though? That's what he's put himself into that situation. If they're going to offer him a lot of money,
He's in trouble a lot.
Yeah, he's always doing something
They can
stupid.
avoid that contract in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Well, you know what? He's always
But
doing something stupid.
My point
Then his
being
family's
is
screwed.
I am playing chicken with Dak Prescott all day long because
Dak Prescott has a lot to prove to me.
Jake just made a comment with the cap figures. If somebody wants to read that.
Yeah, it is $20 million.
Okay. They're under or over?
They are
Must be over.
right now. Right now they have $20 million.
Okay, so they have $20 million, and they have to pay Zeke, Dak, and Cooper. I mean, they have enough.
I'm
to
paying
pay.
Zeke and Cooper, and I'm getting rid of rid of
exactly.
Dak. I'm paying. I'm
Who's your
playing
quarterback?
one of these guys that's on a rookie. You got Mariota and Winston on rookie contracts. Probably one of them, maybe both, isn't going to work out. That's a perfect stopgap guy. You got to get one in the draft. You found Dak in the third round. You can do it again.
I'll tell you what, Rob. If you put Mariota on that
Wasn't
team,
he the 4th round?
Whatever.
Okay.
Rob, you put Mariota on Dallas. I think that Mariota would be a significantly better quarterback than what he is now. Yeah.
The Titans, they're not that good. I mean,
But it's not his fault.
but if you give
The
Mariota,
Titans are just they don't really have they never seem to have a big time offensive player.
Dallas's
to help them.
offensive line is so good. Zeke
But the
Elliott is so
Titans'
good.
offensive line
Amari
isn't that
Cooper's
good.
a pretty good receiver. He's way closer to being the best receiver in the league than Dak is being the best quarterback in the league.
Right.
Sean Lee, Jalen Smith, and Van Der Esch. Is there a better linebacking core in the league?
Maybe not.
It's pretty. damn
Byron
good.
Jones is pretty good. Who am I missing? Awuzie. Chidobe Awuzie. He's pretty
Yeah,
good. You're
they-
going to have to pay
they
him.
got-
You already paid Lawrence. He's an elite pass
can't-
rusher. You
you
need
can't
those
pay-
guys.
You can't pay.
I know. I
everybody.
understand you need a quarterback too, but I don't think Dak is that good. Dak is
he's
a
serviceable.
game manager, yes, but
But there's plenty of quarterbacks.
and the
who
Rams are
just
going to
as
have
good
a
as
tough
him.
choice to make with Goff as well because I don't think he's all that. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
think
Goff
about
who's
has-
better,
Goff-
who's better, Dak or Goff?
Dak.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
Goff has a way better arm.
No. Reason I'll give you a reason for this. Dak has won by himself. All right, at least 9 games in 2016.
What do you mean
Goff.
by himself?
By himself.
He's got Zeke and
He
Dak-
never has to win by
Dak
himself.
was the offensive rookie
and when
of the
Dak's
year in
bad, Dak's
2016.
bad. Dak
Yeah,
Dak
because
is
the
so
first year-
inaccurate,
the
Kyle.
first year
I gotta
he
go
played,
Goff
they
there.
had to get-
I gotta go Goff there.
The first year he
Goff-
played, they had to adjust to him, but
Goff
they did.
is so fraudulent. So fraudulent.
I
Dak's
think
a
Goff is
fraud
pretty-
too.
I
Goff
think
has
Goff is
some of the
pretty damn
best
good.
offensive weapons around him you'll ever
So
find.
does if you
does-
include
oh,
the
and
offensive
you don't
line,
think
so does Dak.
Todd Gurley goes out of the Super Bowl. He plays like a little bitch. All right, they score what? 3
Well,
points
they
all game?
They also
Bill
didn't have Cooper
Belichick
Kupp either.
twisted him up like a pretzel. I'll
They
agree
also
with
didn't have
that.
Cooper Kupp. That made a difference.
But Dak Prescott would get twisted up
Goff
like a
looked
pretzel.
terrible.
He did.
He
I
did.
can't argue that.
he
You're
did,
absolutely
but he didn't
right.
have Gurley and he didn't have Kupp.
Jared Goff is better than
But
Dak
good
Prescott.
QBs find ways to win with what they have on
but
the
he's not a
field.
great QB.
He's not. I don't even think he's that good.
If you took Zeke and you took Cooper off the Cowboys, Dak wouldn't be very good either.
But Dak is a game manager. He doesn't go downfield. He just goes to what's open right in front of him.
And he can't even complete
And
those
he's very,
half the
very,
time.
he's very, very shaky doing that. And if he has to throw the ball outside the
I'd
numbers,
rather have him than what's
No,
his
I
face?
wouldn't.
Goff?
I'd
No.
rather have him.
I don't
I'm
think
not
so.
with you on that at
No.
all.
I just
Not
think
that neither
Goff
neither
has
of them
a-
are
I don't
perfect,
say-
but
Goff. One thing Goff has is he has a Hurlitzer for an arm, and Dak does not have
He
that
has a
kind of an
great
arm.
You know what else Goff has? A coach.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He does, but he could also throw the ball to the outside, which Dak cannot do.
But Dak is. See, I don't think Dak's that bad. Like, sorry, Eagles Nation, but I don't think Dak's
it's
that
fine.
bad.
We're speaking
He's
objectively.
okay.
It's a
He's
national show,
okay.
and we tell the truth
He's-
here.
he's
It's okay.
Like
He's
everyone's
not
like, Dak
great.
sucks. You should overpay him. They swept
That's what
us
I
last
said.
year.
They did.
Okay.
They swept us last
Okay.
They have a good roster.
Yeah.
But you weren't that good last year.
We went to the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay. You were lucky to go to the playoffs because the Vikings choked in the last
We lasted
game of the
one more
season.
day
It's
than
not
the
the
Cowboys.
Eagles' fault.
Huh?
Yeah.
That's not the
I'm
Eagles'
just saying,
fault.
But you weren't a great team last year.
No, they were a good team. They
They
were
were
a
a
great
hot
team in
team.
2017.
Right.
Yeah.
And
They
they
were
were
good.
they were
They were
hot
good
and
last year.
they
They
got
got-
there.
And if
They-
the ball didn't go through Alshon Jeffrey's hands, sorry,
Yeah,
Alshon,
I mean
we probably would have been back in the Super Bowl and possibly won it.
Yeah, and if
So-
what's his name? If the kicker on the Bears didn't doink
Cody
the field
Parkey,
goal,
that was amazing.
then they would have lost in the
Okay,
first
well,
round. But I
teams
mean,
lose
this
games.
Is what happens.
It happens.
Right,
Kickers miss
exactly.
kicks.
It's like when
Refs miss calls.
like when Tyree caught
Not
that
excuse.
bubblegum catch to his
Receivers
helmet.
drop
you know?
passes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Tyree, like,
yeah.
what the fuck? Like they wouldn't have won that game if you didn't do that.
All right, let's get back some comments here.
But that's the whole thing.
Look.
You got to make the big plays.
Yeah, that was kind of
The team who makes the team who makes the big plays.
Wonder if
Man-
we'll have some Cowboys
What about
fans.
Manningham? What about Manningham in the second Super Bowl
That
against the
was luck. That was
Patriots?
luck.
That was a great catch.
That was like the best thing ever. They
It
was
was
like
great
That was
throw.
an
there,
incredible
right on
throw.
the fingertips.
That was an incredible throw.
All right, let's get to some comments on Facebook from the fam. Jake Friel, long term.
Jakey.
The Cowboys are screwed. They only have $20 million in cap and still have to pay Zeke, Dak, and Cooper. Yeah, Jake, I'm not paying Dak. I'm paying Cooper. I'm paying Zeke. I'm telling Zeke to
They'll
test
cut-
the open
they'll
market.
They'll just cut
And when
somebody,
teams
that's all.
are smart and agree with me that Dak is not a $30 million quarterback,
or they will
then he's
trade
going to take a
somebody.
team-friendly Cowboys deal.
Or they
so
will
it can
trade
be-
somebody. The Cowboys will work it out. They're not a dumb organization.
Jason Tatum, money should not be issue for the Dallas Cowboys. They are projected to have over $100 million in cap space next year. All three should have been locked down by now. You see, now that
if
sounds
Dak
like a
wants-
lot. That
not if
sounds like a
Dak-
lot. But Zeke, Byron Jones, Awuzie, Lawrence is paid.
But Dak wants $30
I'd have to
million
look
a
up.
year.
Zach Martin's the
They might
highest
give him
paid
to
guard.
him. They might give it to him.
If they give it to him, that would
What?
be the dumbest $30 million ever spent.
It
Dak,
could be.
wait, whoa,
Dak
hold on,
wants
what are we
over,
talking about?
Dak wants over $30 million a year.
No,
They might give it to
no.
That's he wants.
Carson
money.
Wentz, Dak Prescott, Jared Goff. Wentz is number one.
Dak's number 2. Goff
I
is
think
number
Goff
three.
is
But
two,
we're in
and-
disagreement over who's second and who's third. But we're all in agreement
Right.
that Dak is number one, or Carson Wentz
Carson's
is number one.
Dak's
So
number
Dak
two,
and Goff should
Goff
not
is
be
three.
making more money than Carson Wentz. Carson's already set the market,
Right.
and then Mahomes is going to blow the market off blow the roof off the market when he gets paid.
Yeah, but Mahomes is a different animal right now.
I understand.
But you never know. His second year, maybe he doesn't play as well.
I think
Maybe
I think,
the
I think
NFL
Patrick
can
Mahomes
adjust
is gonna
to
be
him.
pretty fucking good.
I think it's his third, right? Or second?
Second year playing.
Third year, yeah.
Yeah.
So that,
Third
that,
year, but second
He
year
was
playing.
beyond Alex Smith. Yeah, okay.
But they're young, and their young linebacker core for the future. Yeah, you got to keep that. Jalen Smith's a beast.
Yeah, they're all
Van Der Esch
monsters.
is a
They're all
beast.
monsters.
Byron Jones is a beast.
Yeah.
You need to have the most good players you can, and if you give Dak Prescott $30 million,
I just can't.
that's
talk
not
shit on-
maximizing your talent.
I don't know what it is. I just can't talk shit on the Cowboys right now. They've owned us. You know, it's like
You can't, and they're a very good team.
yeah.
There's going to be a very good wild card team in the NFC because it's either going to be the Eagles or it's going to be the
We
Cowboys.
win in the division. I think we win the division, personally.
So do I,
Yeah.
because I'll take Doug and Carson over Jason Garrett and Dak.
Yeah.
Right now, I can't make a comment because I want to see if
You want to see what happens.
Zeke is.
Well, if Zeke's
Gonna play.
holding out like Le'Veon
If
Bell
Zeke
did
doesn't
last year,
play,
they're not even
they're
going to make
not
the
gonna-
playoffs.
they won't
I'm
ma-
just
I
happy.
agree.
I'm just happy the first time in my life there's.
I've never
there's
heard
a
of any other
legit-
running back on their
There's
roster.
a legit Cowboys-Eagles rivalry for the first time in my life watching the football game. You know,
I've had plenty of.
yeah, but
Oh,
back
I
in the
mean-
90s, back in the 80s, I don't remember that. I wasn't really old enough to, comprehend what was going
Yeah,
on.
because we kicked
Yeah.
their ass in the Andy Reid
They've
era,
been
like,
really
every
mediocre
time.
for most of my life.
And then
Well,
the one year they beat us 3 times.
Yeah,
That sucked.
yeah. Like I always considered the Giants the bigger rival because the Cowboys were never that good. You
And
know?
we beat
Yeah,
the
well,
Giants
not
most
anymore.
of the time too.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
James Tamey, you notice how it's very rare that the Eagles have contract issues like Dallas is having right now? Yeah, because Howie Legend is a cap wizard. And Jerry Jones just wants to spend, and then figures it out later. Matt Haxton, why make a running back a priority when big-time running backs don't win championships anymore?
Is that a Cowboys fan?
I don't know what Matt Haxton is. I don't know what his affiliate. He listens to the show a lot. We appreciate it, but I don't
Love
know
it.
I don't know what his affiliation is. But Zeke is special.
Hey, if you're a Cowboys fan out there, don't worry. Come in here. We'll read your comment.
I think Zeke
No.
is the best
We won't hate
running
on
back in the league, and I think that he's the only top tier running back. Like he's in a tier of his own at the top.
Zeke's amazing. He hurdled who last year? Grugy Hill. No.
Yeah, no, that was a Jim
that was
Brown.
right in
that was
front
a,
of me.
that
That was
was
right
a-
in front of me. And it was crazy.
Kyle, that was a Jim Brown play. That's what Jim Brown used to do.
That was so spectacular of a play that the whole crowd, the whole section that
I'm
was around
sorry,
me was like,
Ezekiel Elliott. You can't compare. Like, I would be wary of giving big time money to Melvin Gordon if I'm the Chargers. I think when push comes to shove, I do it because the Chargers are
Our offensive
in
line's
win
pretty
now mode.
good.
Or in win now mode, but Zeke Elliott is exponentially better than Melvin Gordon. I'd feel way
I
more
agree with that.
comfortable, even
agree
with
with
the
that.
off the field issues, paying Zeke Elliott
Zeke's-
as the top
Zeke's a
running back as
monster.
opposed to a Melvin Gordon.
He
Oh,
hurt-
he's a
he-
stud.
he
no,
hurdled-
I mean he.
James Tatum on Facebook just said he hurdled Trey Sullivan.
Trey Sullivan.
Yeah.
I mean he's a
Maroon.
beast. He's
What a bum.
Yep.
Deion Brown is back. Dak is overrated. He's serviceable, not elite. Goff could have the better career. I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah, Kyle doesn't. We disagree.
I just think Goff has a better arm and has more talent.
Does he,
I
though?
just read that.
Yeah, I think he does. Well, look at it this way.
It kind of
Goff was
reminds
a,
me of Sam
Goff
Bradford.
was a first-round pick. Okay,
First overall.
first overall pick.
Yeah, so was Sam Bradford.
And what's his name was picked fourth in the fourth round. Dak.
Who? Yeah, you're gonna
Okay.
find. Yeah, you know who was picked
but
in the
you
sixth
can't-
round? Tom Brady.
Yeah, no, I know Tom Brady, and Tom
So-
Brady wasn't even starting on Michigan when he went that year either.
No.
No, Drew Henson would
Drew
always go in the
Henson was-
game and mess everything up,
You
and
know
then
what's
Tom
funny?
Brady would come in at the end and win it,
Exactly.
just like he
if
does with the
Bledsoe
Patriots.
never got injured, it would be crazy. We might not even see Tom Brady.
He would
was
have
about
found a
ready.
way.
No, you know what? He
Think
was
so?
Maybe not on the Patriots, but he would have found a
Yeah,
way.
he would have
Yeah.
gotten in there somehow.
Yeah. I don't remember that game, but I watched film on it. I was like, wow, that was a rough injury.
Well, when it took Bledsoe to get injured for what's his name to become the quarterback of the Cowboys.
Yeah. Well, Drew Bledsoe was on the Cowboys before Tony Romo.
All right, Matt Haxton is clarifying.
Tony
his
Romo
fandom.
is who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But Tony Romo was drafted.
Romo was good.
He was
Like,
really good,
he
but
was
he didn't.
really good
He choked in the
quarterback.
Oh,
playoffs
he was
every time.
horrible.
He
didn't
choked
even
in the
he
playoffs,
choked
and
before
every time,
the playoffs.
any time in December, there was a big spot. He'd throw an interception.
Do you know
he'd
the
cough up
only-
the football? I mean, he could never win the big game.
He has one of the more higher-rated QBRs.
Yeah,
Ever.
but he's also
Ever.
he's also the classic choke job.
Right. You
Yeah,
know
which
who
sucks.
You know who
Yeah.
the since 1990 when they did like the first 2 teams had a bye,
Yeah.
the only 1 seed to not win a playoff game is that
Cowboys.
Cowboys
They
team
lost to
that
the
lost to
Giants,
the
yeah.
Giants.
I remember
in
that Webster
07.
Webster caught
Right.
the interception.
Corey Webster at the
Yeah.
goal line.
Corey
yeah.
Webster caught the interception,
And then
they
T.O.
kicked the
That's the
field
game
goal.
T.O. cried and said, "That's my
That's my
quarterback."
quarterback, which was bullshit.
Yeah,
They hated
they were
each other.
such alligator tears.
Yeah.
It was so great watching them go. Matt Haxton is Philadelphia everything, but he just doesn't think that it's worth paying a running back that kind of money.
Okay. That's
He's
fair.
entitled to his opinion.
That's
and
okay.
He's not,
I
he
think
may not be
Zeke is
wrong.
special, and I think that there's exceptions to every rule. And I think this, especially
Well,
with
he's
how
go-
the Cowboys want to play football.
Well, he's basically saying that because of what happened to him last year. He got paid and he has.
But Todd
arthritis
Gurley
in
is
his knee.
Todd Gurley is not as good as Zeke Elliott,
I
even
don't-
when he's 100%. He's
Ooh.
not.
Ooh.
Zeke Elliott's the best running back to come along since LaDainian Tomlinson.
Todd Gurley is good, man. Todd,
He is good.
Todd Gurley's really good.
Yeah, he's
He's
that's
really
tough.
good, but he's injured though, and
That's really
he may
tough.
have
Ezekiel
he may
Elliott is
have
the
an arthritic
cream
knee.
of the crop.
He may have an arthritic knee now.
Arthritis,
does have an
which is
arthritic knee.
bad.
Yeah, that's really well. If you're a football player, especially.
You're done. You're
Yeah, I
screwed.
mean he might be able to play a year or 2 more, but that's the problem with giving
Yeah.
long-term contracts to running backs. Running backs have a very short life expectancy. Career expectancy.
life
in these-
expectancy.
yeah, that's a bad term. That's a bad way to put it. They have a very short career expectancy in the NFL. That's the problem. I mean, most running backs are at the peak of their careers for like 4 years,
Right.
and then they get so beat up that they're not that effective. Only the real bulls are able to, be effective beyond that because they either get hurt or they just get beat up.
Right.
I mean that's the problem with running backs.
Yeah, running backs are a dime a dozen. You only find a couple of them, and if you do, you got to keep them.
Well,
Matt
if you get a
Haxton-
truly elite
Matt
one,
Haxton says,
Yeah,
"Did
you
Lte win anything in San Diego?" He
LT?
didn't. He didn't.
LT
You're
almost
right.
won in New York.
but that
though.
wasn't his fault though.
He
He didn't play defense either.
I thought LT should have won in New York.
They had a good team when he was on the.
yes, they
Yeah,
did.
they
And
really
Sanchez
did.
was actually good.
Yeah,
Um,
they couldn't beat Peyton Manning in a big game.
I thought they were going
They
to
couldn't
beat.
beat
I thought they were.
Pittsburgh.
I
They
thought
did.
they were
They
going to
did.
beat.
They did, but
I
they lost
thought.
to
I
Pittsburgh.
thought they were going to beat Pittsburgh that
They
year.
should have been. If Doug Bryan would have kicked that field
They
goal
beat-
in overtime,
They
he
beat
missed.
the Patriots.
He
being-
missed. Doug
they
Bryan
beat the Patriots
missed 2
being
field
15
goals.
point underdogs.
Yeah, but that Doug
Yeah.
Bryan missed.
Yeah.
Doug
That
Bryan
was,
missed
that
2
was
field
Sean,
goals.
the
in
Sean
Pittsburgh.
Green show. Remember
That's
him?
when Rex Ryan ran down to the end zone. He was like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah.
Well, you know what? That
Russ
year,
was like, "Can't
if you
wait."
remember that year, the Patriots beat the Jets 45-3 during the season. So the Jets had a real chip on their shoulder when they played them that
I
game.
thought that was the Jets because they had those Jets. That Jets team was loaded.
Bart Scott was like, "Can't wait."
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
One of the best sound clips ever.
That
But they had
defense
Bart
was one of the
Scott.
best ever.
They
had a real good
Revis was like
Revis Island.
Revis was really good.
going
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, I mean you couldn't throw it
They
his
had
side.
LT and Thomas Jones.
I can't believe they didn't at least get to the Super Bowl. I know they got.
They
to
had
the,
a really good.
They got to the AFC Championship
Twice
game
in a row.
Twice in a row. Yeah, they,
They
lost
lost
to the
to the
Colts. And they
Colts.
lost to the Steelers.
And they had the
But the
Colts.
Steelers,
they had
they
the
shoulda-
Colts on the hook. They should have beat the Steelers.
They
yeah.
had the Steelers on the hook. Doug Bryan missed 2 field goals in overtime.
They lost to the Colts.
Yeah.
Trevor Harris, word
Trying
on the
to figure
street,
that one
Zeke
out.
Elliott is a big-time asshole
they did.
off the field. Buddies went
We
on a
agree.
Buckeye cruise, and he was a fucking jerk there the whole time. Well, Zeke Elliott's a jerk-off. Like, that's not breaking news, Trevor,
It's
but he's a
definitely not breaking,
really
yeah.
good football player.
Oh, Trevor Harris said that.
Yeah, he's a really good football
Yeah,
player.
but he's still really he
How many
gets the
uh,
job done on the field.
how many of these good players, these good athletes are complete jerk-offs?
A lot of them.
Yeah, because
Most
they
of
think
them.
their shit don't stink because they have a ton of money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
Well, Zeke doesn't have a ton of money, not yet.
Not yet. He will.
see not
He
all,
should.
but not all of them are like that.
A lot of them are.
A lot of them are, but
I
not
don't
all.
like
yeah.
painting with a broad brush like that, but I mean, it's not breaking news that Zeke Elliott's a jerk off. He's a jerk off.
Yeah, I mean, he went to EDC
He's just
and he pushed the security guard. He was like,
Well, he's
"Get
a
the fuck
douche.
out of my way."
But he's a douche, though.
That
you
was
know?
funny. Zeke's not a bad guy.
Frank, we breaking. We gonna break. All right, let's take a break.
All right,
Sports
sweet.
Hounds, be back right after this exclusively on YouTube for some Phillies, Yankees
No, we're
trade
2 hours.
deadline.
We're
We're
2
2 hours
hours
on Facebook.
We're 2
now.
hours on the books.
Yes.
Excuse me. We'll
We're
be back
taking
on
over.
Facebook. Taking
YouTube,
over.
Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, Periscope, you name it, everywhere.
The
Name it.
whole bowl of wax, baby.
You're on it. We're back. We'll be back right after this talking baseball. Sports Hounds, A2D Radio, back in 1 second.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
A2D Radio, Sports Hounds, live from the Real Talk Studios. We're back. As always, brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC. Certified accountants, visit GibsonMayerLLC.com. Scanzano Sports, premier sports facility, training facility right here in the Cherry Hill area. Visit ScanzanoSports.com for more information. Talked about football, went through the poll. Got some baseball talk. Trade deadline is Wednesday. No, Tuesday.
Wednesday.
Is it Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Okay. The 31st. Some minor moves so far. We're still waiting for that big shoe to drop. But after an embarrassing series loss to the Atlanta Braves, the Phillies were active today. They bring in stud lefty Jason Vargas for a 26-year-old Double-A catcher. Look, he's a lefty. He's an okay pitcher. He can maybe give you 5 innings. I'm absolutely done with Zach Eflin. Zach Eflin blows. He had 80 pitches in 2 2/3 innings on Saturday night in the embarrassing 15-7 loss to the Atlanta Braves. I'm just
You're lost for words. it's so funny.
I'm just baffled that this team can be this bad. And then I listened to Gabe in all of his press conferences put, whipped
We're
cream
poised for a run.
Put whipped cream on dog shit and say that they're primed for a run and how he's got all these positives out of Eflin's performances and how Cole Irvin is like this really good pitcher I don't see. Like, Gabe Kapler's press conferences are insulting to my intelligence. Do you remember the scene in Billy Madison where the puppy who lost his way?
Everyone in this audience is now dumber.
Yeah. Everything in the audience is now dumber because of what you just said.
Right.
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. I award Gabe Kapler no points, and I hope God has mercy on his soul because
and
he is terrible.
hopefully we don't get sued because you used that.
Yeah. Just sue away. It's Tom's company. It's all right.
True.
Stop.
That's all right.
God, what is wrong
Tom's
with
on the LLC.
It's true.
But yeah, I said I dropped the G-bomb, the God word.
Yeah.
But you get Jason Vargas. I mean, does a guy with a 4 ERA on the stinky Mets come in and he's your second best pitcher? I'm supposed to be enthused by that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
Not.
your third best pitcher.
Pavetta's finally
You
in the.
forgot Drew Smiley.
Okay, yes, you're right. Another lefty.
The Cliff Lee lookalike.
Yeah, he looks like Cliff Lee in his
Well,
delivery.
who throws harder, Jason Vargas or Drew Smiley?
Smiley.
Can either one of them break a window?
Jason Vargas, no one could hit him because he throws slow.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
They're not used to it.
But I mean,
By the way, how about that guy on the Orioles getting a save against the Angels, the outfielder in the 17th inning?
I don't know.
The Orioles and the
I
Angels went
haven't
17
watched a lot of Orioles baseball.
The
this year.
Orioles and Angels went 17 innings last week.
people in Baltimore haven't watched a lot of.
The Orioles center fielder, the Orioles ran out of pitchers. The Orioles center fielder came in and he was throwing 60-mile-an-hour pitches.
Wow.
And he retired the Angels 1-2-3. He got Trout out. He got what's his name, the Japanese guy out.
Well, yeah, it's understandable though.
Shotani.
If you drop 30 miles an hour like that, you're not used
he got
to it.
Shotani out, and he got who's the other one that he got? He got Pujols out. He got the heart. He pitched to the heart of the order. Got him out 1-2-3.
Wait, how are you a major league outfielder and only pitch 60 miles an hour?
He was only throwing the ball 60 miles an hour.
How's that possible?
And the ball was going like this. You should see.
Maybe it was strategy.
The inning was on.
You have to have a gun to be out there.
The inning.
Maybe it was a
if you-
strategy. Maybe he was trying too hard to pinpoint and.
Well, he was
sacrificed
saying
it.
they were talking.
You're
'cause
right. He should throw.
Chris Davis
Yeah.
got a win in 2011 against the Red Sox, and Chris Davis was saying that
Chris Davis
if you throw,
sucks.
but if you throw too hard, he
So
said
what's
the
that?
problem with position players is they all try to muscle up on their fastballs. If they would just go up there and just throw the ball over the plate and hope for the best, and not try.
That's
to,
what the
not try
guy
to
on the
gun it.
sounds like. That's what the guy on the
That's-
Orioles did, and it
That's-
worked.
Yep, because nobody was used to it.
Well, getting back to relevant teams.
Okay, no, I just was making a comment
You're
about
good,
that.
You're
though.
good.
Yeah,
You're good.
that's funny. It's good.
You know,
But-
I'm sure, as I said, I'm sure the Angel fans probably were pulling their hair out over that. Roscoe, did you watch
Yeah.
that game?
Roscoe
David,
was
my man, I'm sure you were probably fit to be tied over that one.
He's probably watching the Dodgers.
He should be watching the Dodgers.
Is he
They're a
watching?
good
Is he a
team.
Dodger fan or
He's
an
a
Angel
Dodgers
fan?
Angels fan. He's
No,
LA
that's
guy.
no.
he likes the
he's a chamber-
Clippers, Lakers.
No. What
Kings.
is he? A member of the Chamber of Commerce?
He likes every single LA team.
You can't root for all the teams. You got to pick
But
one.
he does.
The Kings aren't
But
in
that's
LA.
not a
They're in-
real-
Oh,
that's-
the hockey.
That's
Yeah, my
not.
bad.
That's not being a real fan.
Yeah.
One of the. I'm not a Yankee and Met fan. I hate the Mets.
Yeah, but-
Fuck the Mets.
Yeah, but that's you.
I'm not a Giant Jet fan.
Well,
I'm a Giant
Brody
fan.
Brody Van Wiegenen hates the Yankees as well because he traded. All right, the Jays traded for Stroman purely to
Absolutely.
stick it up the Yankees' ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. There was
And
no
the
other
Blue
reason to
Jays,
do
the
so.
Blue Jays clearly didn't want to trade within the division,
Nope.
so they just picked out. They
Because
took,
they knew Stroman would be there next year, so they didn't want to do it.
and now that brings us to Thor. And again, to wrap up the Phillies stuff, like I'm so disinterested. They're just such not a good
I've been
team.
disinterested the last month.
The Phillies are like the Thanksgiving dinner where you just plop a turkey on the table. You got no mashed potatoes, you got no gravy, you
Disgusting.
got no cranberry sauce, you got no stuffing. Because you either got a guy that you're excited about, you can build around, like Kingery, like Harper, Reese, Realmuto, or you just got a stone mutt like Segura and Eflin
Turkey
and
is the
Pavetta.
most overrated food of all
You're
time.
out of your mind. Turkey is delicious.
Yeah, I
Most
love turkey.
overrated food
You're,
of all time. I'd rather eat the mashed potatoes than eat the turkey. to
so
be
you're gonna
honest with
you that jabron that sits at the Thanksgiving table and just eats
and
all the
orders a
sides
cheesesteak. Yeah, that's me.
and orders a cheesesteak.
Yeah, that's me.
We
What
get.
do you mean you order?
we get
you
it.
go
Or
out
get it the day before.
Don't tell my rabbi, but we've been known to get a ham.
Yeah, a lot of people go to
And
Chinese too. You know.
Yeah.
That's Christmas,
get-
I thought.
We get on
both.
turkey. No, we get ham on Thanksgiving.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turkey
Just
has
don't
no
tell-
flavor.
Don't tell the rabbi though.
Yeah, turkey has no flavor.
But ham, the spiral ham. Oh,
Yeah.
Rob
best.
Lutwin. No, I haven't got my new A2D gear yet. The boss just got back from his baseball tournament in New York. We'll get A2D gear.
Yeah,
I usually have my Sports Hound shirt on.
I wear
but
to the I
don't.
wear to the gym when I go. A2D, real talk. Yeah.
Hashtag it, no notes.
Hashtag and no notes.
There you go.
But it's clear to me that the Phillies aren't going to make a splash at the deadline. Robbie Ray's not coming.
They're playing for next year.
Zach Greinke's not coming.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's coming. They're either going to make a run with Vargas and Smiley, and maybe they'll make another minor move. I thought they should have gotten Sogard. I
Yeah.
thought that would have been a nice guy to add, minor piece, but he goes to the Rays. Typical Rays addition. Utility guy with some
Do you
pop.
not? Do you
The
not
Rays
think that,
really fell off.
Do you not think that the Phillies can go out and try to get a reliever?
Yeah, but maybe they'll get John. Not going to get Will Smith or Watson or Felipe Vasquez.
They could get
from
Green,
the Pirates,
or they could get
or
they could get Colomé.
like anything of that nature. No, I don't think that's. I don't think.
What about Wade Davis? Do you think the Rockies would trade him? They're going to have to pay a lot of his contract, but do you think they would?
I mean,
He's a guy you'd
it
want.
depends. But the Phillies don't seem to be interested in trading Baum, trading Moniak, trading Hazley, trading Medina. They just aren't doing it. They don't seem like they're going to be interested. They're just going to nibble with Vargas and Smiley.
Until Clintack is fired, you're not going to do much.
So they're going to continue to peck at the scrap heap
Right.
and try to catch lightning
And
in a bottle.
pretend they're the Rays when they're
Yeah, they're
a
trying
major
to catch,
market.
You said it perfectly. Catch Leighton in
Yeah,
the bottle.
that's what they're trying. They're trying
That's
to.
what
They're
trying
trying.
to do.
Kyle, if you remember this, they're
But
trying
there
to,
are
they're trying to
pieces
find the
on
next
this
Aaron
team
Small.
offensively that
They're
can
trying to catch an
no,
Aaron Small. is
catch
what they're trying
fire
to do.
and carry.
Remember Aaron Small? when he went
Harper,
to-
Yeah, I
Hoskins,
remember
Realmuto.
That's-
That's a strong middle of the order.
Well, they're going to have to bash their way into the playoffs, unless they can find a closer, a real good closer, or even just a good closer.
Well, right now their closer's Neris, so you're gonna have to really turn.
What
that
does it
around.
matter if they're never in save opportunities because the starters go out there and just
Seems
suck.
like nobody cares now. You know, you're watching the games, and the offense just doesn't want to perform. You know, they put up a 6 spot the other day.
Tom just
But-
the hitting coach is like, what does he do? Like, I don't get it. Like, there's no approach to hitting.
Yeah.
Like they're
It's
just
unbelievable
it
that-
just
it's
strikes me that,
unbelievable
they
that-
just
7 games over
They just
500 and
play
you're in
the
first
game.
place.
Crazy, right?
What a joke.
We're 30 games over 5. Well, almost 30 games.
We're
over
29
500.
over.
Yeah, and we're only
And we
9
get beat
games
up.
up.
And you know what? Our team
to
is
wrap
always
up the
get
Phillies.
beat
The
up.
Phillies just don't have the right philosophy towards the game of baseball.
Yeah.
They just don't. Matt Clintack doesn't have the right mentality towards baseball. Gabe Kapler doesn't have the right mentality in terms of baseball.
Over on YouTube, Patriots fan 12 said, honestly, Harper is such a bad contract.
See, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Harper's not the problem.
$25 million
not the
for a
answer.
player the caliber
But he's not the
of
problem.
Bryce Harper. The problem is when Bryce Harper's hot, it's not contagious.
Yeah, but that's not Bryce Harper's fault.
No, but he's right. Bryce Harper's completely overrated. Like,
Well, listen. We've
Look,
we've had
$25
that
million
argument.
a year for that
it's a lot.
for that guy is
18 home runs he has right now in that ballpark. Like, come on.
yeah, he's underachieving. But I
Yeah.
mean,
He was
And
supposed
he's
to have
been
like
healthy.
over 50.
And he's been healthy all season. It's not like he's missed a lot
Yeah.
of games. I mean, if he missed a lot of games, you could understand.
he's
but
gonna
he
get the
should do
30
better.
bombs.
Yeah, but it's really underachieving, especially in that ballpark.
Yeah, but but like anything
He might
besides
not.
60 home runs
he might not get
is
the 30.
underachieving.
No, it's-
Good players cost money. That's just the way it is. If you want to get a guy on the open market, you're going to overpay. Kevin Hayes, the Flyers, they overpaid. The Padres overpaid for Manny Machado.
The
Like
Rangers
these guys,
overpaid for Artemi Panarin. It is what it is.
Yeah.
it's
They
the
overpaid
open
for
market
Jake-
in pro
for Jake
sports.
Trouba.
If you want to be good and you want to be in the mix, you got to spend money.
Maybe not with him.
So,
Yeah.
but
What did,
Panarin they did.
yeah, Matt Haxton. The worst thing about the entire Phillies roster right now is their bullpen. I disagree. It's the starters. So what better way to fix that than bring in a pitcher that on average doesn't last more than 5 innings, meaning they will have to rely on the bullpen average 4 innings every time he pitches.
But this guy, they got off the scrap heap. You didn't have to give up anything
Right,
for him.
but the starters, when I watch Zach Eflin throw 80 pitches in 2 2/3 innings, that's much more detrimental to the bullpen than pitching 4 innings.
Yep.
Zach Eflin can't play. He just can't play. Nick Pivetta, we'll see what he does in the bullpen, but he can't be a starter.
Nick
Vince
Pavetta's been pitching pretty well in the bullpen.
he has, and maybe maybe he can find his
That's a
niche there.
spot.
Maybe he can find a niche there and help the team.
It's
He's
like the
been
one
better.
pitcher we had who was a starter converted to bullpen the one year. I forget his name. It was Phillips.
David
Oh,
Phillips.
David Phelps.
No.
David Phelps was
No.
good in the bullpen.
This guy was pitching a perfect game in Texas. Then he got injured. Was never the same again.
I know who you're talking about.
yeah.
I just can't remember.
He was
the
very
name
good in
of
the bullpen. He wasn't a good starter anymore. Oh my God.
You'll think of it.
All right, I have to look it
that.
up.
Phil
Hold on.
Hughes.
Phil Hughes.
Yeah, well,
That's it.
Do you know what I used to say about Phil Hughes? And Bob and I said the same thing. Every time we had to take a crap,
Yeah.
we would say, "Excuse me, but I have to go take a Hughes."
You didn't like him
No, Phil Hughes, and
in the bullpen. He was good.
yeah, and then they made a starter out of him, and he was pathetic.
Yeah.
He was like the worst I've ever seen. He was like 1 year he was 4-14, and that's when I kept saying every time I saw
It's
Hughes,
pretty bad.
I had to take a Hughes. And then when Sergio Mitre came in, I used to
Oh God.
my buddy Bob and we used to say I have to go Va Mitre because Mitre was in the game. And Girardi always used to put him in, and then we used to.
You
get
and
it.
Bob
Girardi always pissed me off.
You and Bob got some knee slappers there watching those Yankees games. I gotta
Yeah,
tell
well, you know
Brad.
what our nickname for Jabba Chamberlain was?
What was it?
Blow Jabba. We
So-
had some good ones.
What
That's what happens when you sit in the damn ballpark too long.
Yeah.
When the
What-
games are out of hand.
We had some pretty average teams.
What I
Yeah.
think the one deal that the Phillies do have a chance to make is with the Reds for a guy like Tanner Rourke and possibly Yasiel Puig. But if they're not going to, it doesn't look like they're interested in giving up their prospects. So,
No.
like,
But Tanner Rourke wouldn't cost you anything big.
and Tanner Rourke is under control for more than just this year. He's not a
Yeah,
rental.
but Tanner Rourke is not going to cost. Shouldn't
Tanner
it
Rourke is
shouldn't cost
Satchel
anything big.
Paige compared to the trash that the Phillies have.
Yeah, I agree, but he shouldn't cost you a lot.
No.
So he should cost you maybe your 5th and your 10th prospects, maybe.
But I want to
Maybe
get
your 5th and your
Puig too,
15th.
because I want Puig, Kingery, and Harper
I think they
in
would
the
take. I
outfield.
think they would trade Puig for a case of baseballs.
But why? He's got almost 25 home runs. He has
Because-
like 10 more home runs than Harper.
Because I think from what I've heard, the players on that team can't stand them. You know, there's certain guys.
Ooh,
oh
look at
boy,
Rendon just smoked a grand
was-
slam.
Yes. I took the over in this game.
oh,
Does
you
that
just
put you
got it.
over?
No, I need 2 more runs.
Oh, you got 4. You got
Well,
3
that's
innings.
It was 9.5.
Yeah, don't forget the Nationals bullpen will help you out.
Hopefully.
Oh yeah, well that goes without saying, Kyle. That their bullpen is as bad as the Mets bullpen.
I'm playing Rendon in
Yeah,
fantasy.
that wasn't looking too hot.
playing
earlier.
Rendon in fantasy.
Well, you just got 10 points.
There you go.
No, I mean no. I'm playing against him.
Oh, so
it's not
sorry.
good.
Wow, he just jacked. He just jacked your score down.
He
was
that
like,
a
"Fuck
shot.
you, Rob."
Oh,
Yeah, he did.
He just smoked that ball.
If
Wow.
you could look at his lips on the replay, it literally says "Fuck you, Rob."
Oh, stop.
Probably. I think he's probably talking to Robles, so that's why
Yeah.
it looked like that.
Yeah, maybe.
But let's get to your Yankees a little bit, because I'm just at a loss. Just the Phillies just don't play baseball the correct way.
Yeah.
They just their
Well,
philosophy.
this weekend
they
the
don't-
Yankees didn't either. So
I mean, the
Yankees
Yankees looked
Yankees
very
pitching-
mortal over the weekend,
the
and their
Yankees
pitching didn't
pitching-
look good too hot against the
No.
Twins either. Do the Yankees have enough pitching
not right now.
to win the World Series? Well, who are they going
Not
to
right
get?
now.
You're not getting Syndergaard. You're not getting Stroman.
It's a good question.
How about Zach Greinke?
If Paxton
why
can
are
find
the-
his balls,
Sonny
maybe
Paxton?
he could turn into something. Yeah.
Sonny
Why-
Paxton.
See, this
Forget
is my
Sonny-
problem.
forget Sonny Paxton.
Why would the
he's a
Diamondbacks
win.
and Giants make moves? Why would they sell like that?
Well,
The Giants and Diamondbacks have
because
a
the
better.
Diamondbacks actually know that they have no shot.
Why do they have no shot? They have a 60
Because
plus
they're good
60
enough.
run
They're
differential.
just not good enough.
Well,
they're
what
not
about
good.
them's not good enough? Ketel Marte is a good player. What are Escobar's a good player?
Yeah, they're
Like,
good players, but as a team,
they're
they're just
playing.
not good
They're
enough.
playing right now. They're losing to the Marlins.
They're
so-
not.
Yeah, 10-4.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay, but it's
Those are the
one game,
Marlins.
Yeah, they're not.
The
'cause
Phillies
they're
lose to the
not
Marlins
good.
all the time.
Yeah, the Phillies suck.
Kyle, have you
We
heard?
just talked
have you
about it
heard
for like an hour.
They're talking about Peralta going. They're talking about trading Peralta to the Cubs.
Peralta,
I mean, that-
he's never healthy.
Yeah, and he's probably going to get traded to the Cubs.
Let me look at their
I-
lineup, 'cause
and
they
from
score
what
a
I've
lot
heard,
of runs.
from what I've heard, the Diamondbacks are ready to sell.
Yeah, they are.
So they are. So I mean that's a fact. There are some pitchers out there. I mean, I would take Greinke.
I would too.
And you know what?
You think he can handle New York?
Yes.
Yeah, I think he's that good. I think and he's also been around that long, and I think he wants to win.
Robert Smith said on YouTube, "I know he went crazy yesterday, but would the Phillies go for Trevor Bauer?"
Yes.
Yeah, why not?
They're not going to give up the prospects to get him.
Yeah.
Oh, the Indians are going to want the moon.
Trevor
and the
Bauer's
stars.
good, Robert. He is a good
Trevor
pitcher.
Bauer's a better pitcher than any
But the
starter we
Indians are
have.
going to make a Trevor Bauer for like
They're going to make
Clint
a baseball
Frazier.
trade.
They're going to make a baseball trade, not
They're
a
not gonna
prospect
make a prospect
because
trade.
I think they're going to catch
Yeah,
the
that was
Twins.
pretty-
I think they're going to catch the Twins.
They might, and don't forget Kluber is only like maybe 2-3 weeks away.
Hold on, Greg found this stat
He
that he was
is.
talking about during the break.
Indians are playing good.
Yeah, they're really
All right,
playing
so just
good.
get back to how bad the Philly, Nick Pivetta, Velasquez, and Zach Eflin are. There are 111 pitchers with at least 50 games started from 2017 to 2019. Nick Pivetta ranks 106th in ERA, Eflin ranks 93rd, and Velasquez 94th. If they can find better roles like Pivetta in the bullpen, it forces Phillies to reconsider 2020 rotation.
Mhm.
So, in essence, that Pivetta, Eflin, and Velasquez stink, and they shouldn't be in your long-term plans. So that's 60% of a rotation that you need to replace.
Yep.
And I guess they've already found 40% of it with.
For
It's
this
true.
year.
He doesn't have any idea what he's doing. You just listen to him talk, and you just get dumber. Gabe Kapler, that is. Well, I think we're really primed to make a run.
He looks like he could play though.
Really, you just lost 15-7, Chief.
He looks more in shape than most of the players you have.
Well,
It's because he did. I mean,
He works
whatever.
out. He's a workout fiend.
Works
If
out.
the players worked out as hard as him, they probably
I
would.
think if
be.
he eats like carbohydrates, he goes to the bathroom and throw it up immediately.
That's what he does with ice cream.
Think so?
No, he does.
Oh, really?
Like,
How could you throw
he,
up
like,
ice cream? It's too good.
puts the ice cream in his mouth and, like, swishes it around and then spits it out.
Oh,
So he
it's
doesn't.
a little different than
That's
throwing
not
it
throwing
up.
up though.
I know, but, like, that's weirder.
Well, yeah,
Well, to get the taste, I guess.
yeah. I
But then you
guess.
spit it out so he doesn't have.
Yeah, well, sometimes people need give
Some
their
peo-
cravings a
Some
work.
people
You
are
know?
just very strange.
Yeah, I mean, some people.
Gabe's a strange guy.
He is.
He is. He is.
I
Getting
think
back.
I think
getting
we're really
back,
primed to make
Getting
a run.
back to the Yankees. By the way,
Yeah.
how do we like Edwin Encarnacion now?
Love him.
I mean, he was the first couple of weeks he was there. Everybody was bitching. Oh, he's only hitting 115, and I'm sitting there saying to myself,
Just wait.
just shut up. I know. This guy have. If you're a Yankee fan, what you haven't sat there and watched him just completely mutilate us every time we
The
play
way he
against
just walks
him.
the parrot's impressive. You know, he has the
Yeah.
parrot on his arm. And just
What
walks.
is
Yeah,
that?
when
Is
there's
that
a
what is
runner
that?
on
What
base.
is that?
So whenever he hits home run, when he rounds first base, he acts like there's a parrot on his arm. and he walks it around the hole.
Yeah, he
like
runs
on purpose, he holds
Yes,
it like
He
this.
holds his arm
Yep.
around like
So
this
that's
around
his-
the
Look
thing.
it up on YouTube. Yeah.
That's his
I
shtick.
believe you guys.
That's his
Why-
shtick.
does he have a pet parrot? Like, what's the?
No, it's just a thing that happened when
Because he's a Caribbean
when
guy.
he was in Cleveland. He did it by accident, and he just stuck with
Everyone was busting his stone, so
Yeah,
he just
Yeah,
stuck
so
with
he
it.
just stuck with it. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And the Yankees actually got him a stuffed parrot.
it. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's a marketing department dream right there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like
But
the bamboo
he's been-
Brad Miller.
That
He's
lasted
been-
about 2 days.
yeah, he's been he's
He almost
been
hit
real
it in the
solid.
upper deck when I was at the game against the Dodgers. He
Yeah.
smoked it.
Brad Miller
Didn't he get
can
Brad
hit.
Miller from the
The
Yankees?
Yankees.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but
he-
Brad Miller can hit, but the problem
He was
is
he was in your
he's
AAA
always
team,
getting
and
hurt.
he stepped right on in and got regular playing time.
He's always
Where's he
hurt.
now?
hurt again.
Yeah, he's
he's
on the
hurt.
DL right
He's
now.
always on the DL. That was the problem. That's why Tampa Bay got rid of him because the guy can hit.
He's also old.
Yeah. But he plays a million positions.
Yeah, but going back to the Phillies, you guys could definitely get Trevor Bauer. I don't see why not.
For what?
They're not going to be able to get Trevor
What?
Bauer.
What?
For who?
In God's name?
You
would
give
they-
don't have a-
well,
they
you-
don't have
you
an
give
outfield.
Up, you give up Moniak. Okay.
The Indians need outfielders that can play
Now.
now. That's why they're in better matchup with the Yankees because we have Clint Frazier, okay, who you can give him who's got big stick, a big
Well, they
stick.
have that guy
can
Oscar
hit.
Mercado, who looks like a pretty good player.
Yeah, but they need another outfielder though.
And Naquan's on fire. And Jose Ramirez is
He's a second baseman though.
I know, but he's hitting.
Well, he wasn't.
Carlos
hitting for the
Santana
first-
Wasn't
hitting,
before.
too.
Yeah, no, I know. No, listen, the
Carlos
problem-
Santana's a beast, man.
Yeah, the Indians.
That's a big
The
boy.
Indians can hit. I
Yeah.
mean, now that's why they've made
Can't
this
believe you
run.
guys got rid of him.
Huh?
Can't believe the Phillies got rid of him.
They got
He
rid of
couldn't
him
play
because
the
he couldn't. He
field.
wasn't. But he
He's
also wasn't.
good, man.
And you
also
had to
wasn't
get
hitting.
Hoskins back to first base, and you were paying him way too much money. That was a bad contract that they were fortunate to get out under. Now, unfortunately, it cost you J.P. Crawford, but you got Gene Segura back. That's why I don't fault Clintack for those moves for Romuto
those
and
aren't-
Segura.
but those
I
aren't
hate
bad
Gene
moves.
Segura. I hate Gene Segura with a passion. I
Yeah.
think he's a total stiff.
Right.
A total stiff. He's a paycheck player.
My friend doesn't like him either.
I mean,
He's
just,
another Robinson Cano.
He doesn't
goes out
hustle.
there- he
It's
goes
always
out there
something
and-
with him. It's always something.
Yep.
He's just not a winning player.
Gene.
I like Realmuto. I like Hoskins. I like Harper. That's who you got to rely on to get you to the playoffs. And Nola. You have four
Nola's
guys.
pitching
Kingery
well
as
right
well.
I was
Yeah,
watching
Nola's,
the game
Nola's
yesterday.
turned it around.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
He's
9 and
turned it
2.
around. Yeah, no, he's turned it around.
He
He's
pitches
pitching
bad
well
when
now.
it's cold. And if you remember last year, he
He's
really
like Nick
peaked-
Foles. Plays
he
bad
really-
when it's cold.
he really peaked in the second half of the year.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So-
Yes, he did.
So, Yankees. I mean, what do? You get Robbie Ray, you get Greinke. I, mean,
I
you
don't
get
want
Bauer.
Robbie Ray. I don't want Robbie
I
Ray.
don't think Robbie Ray's the answer, but I think Greinke would be a very.
You agree
very
that you need
smart.
something.
Yeah, absolutely.
What the fuck do we need another lefty for? Robbie Ray. Like, we have a ton of lefties.
He's just a good player.
He's a
Not really.
he's a good pitcher, but he's not that much better than what we have now.
That's what I'm saying.
He's the same pitcher as Herman and the same pitcher as Tanaka.
He's the same pitcher as Paxton, too.
Yeah, he's the same kind of pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, Greinke is a difference maker. Greinke's been there before. He's had proven playoff success. I take him in a minute. I think if the Diamondbacks pay down his salary, which I'm sure they would, they'll put some money down on it.
See, the thing is, like, I know Tanaka had a really bad game the other day, but me and my friend always joke he's going to give up a home run every single game. Because the way he pitches, it just leaves it right over
Yeah,
the
but
middle of the
Tanaka
plate.
is
Tanaka on the road.
he
has
can
never
be on
really,
my team any
Tanaka
day.
is always bad on the road. If you ever notice his
He was
statistics,
way off on Thursday. It looked like he was pitching softball.
he couldn't get the ball down.
Yeah.
Every pitch
I
was
mean,
up.
the Reds they do
Yeah.
have a pretty good lineup, and they were due against you
Bogarts
guys.
was murdering him. Mookie was murdering.
So was
yeah,
Benintendi.
Was that the
was-
game that Mookie hit
Benintendi.
3
Three
home
home
runs?
runs.
No,
Yeah.
Bennett. No, he did that against Paxton.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Against Sonny Paxton.
Sonny Paxton.
Yes, Sonny Paxton. That's his name until he starts pitching like a real man.
Yeah, he's not pitching.
If he's
well
gonna
at all.
pitch, if he's gonna pitch like a girl, then then he's gonna be treated like a girl. And Sonny Gray was a girl when he was here. I mean, he's a little screaming
Tell him
baby.
how you really feel.
Yeah, no, he was a little screaming baby. He's trying to blame everybody for the fact that he couldn't. He kept hanging his curveball.
Yep.
And it's the Yankees' fault that he was hanging his curveball. It was the Yankees' fault that he couldn't locate his fastball.
Well, whatever they're doing in Cincinnati with him this year is working because he's
Because
playing
there's no pressure
really
in Cincinnati.
I told you this.
The
was
worse the
part of the
team-
reason why I picked the Reds
the
to win the
worse-
Central.
the
but
worse
it's
the team-
just not working
The worse
out.
the team, the
Bad
better
pick.
Sonny Gray. And Sonny Gray could get traded back to Oakland, by the way, because I've heard rumors about that one.
Bill,
What do
Bill, you guys aren't going to make a run. You're not going to win the division. You're not even going to make the playoffs. So stop talking about the Red Sox.
The Red Sox, because they got lucky and had a good week.
My favorite A2D fan, Bill Middlebrook.
He said I should get you. He said I should buy you guys shirts. A2D shirts.
If you want to foot the bill for that, I'm all in.
Well, he's saying I can because I got it like that. I'm like, okay.
Why do you
Whatever.
have it? What does that mean?
That's what he said. Look, I think Kyle should buy Brad Frank because he's got it like that. I don't know.
No, you're not gonna buy. He doesn't want you to buy me one.
Well, he's got a question for me. He says, question for Kyle. Do the Yankees look at dumbass throwing the ball over the center field fence any differently? They were on picking him up. Are they still?
No, the guy just got frustrated and,
Yeah,
and he
I
threw
mean-
the ball.
Wait a minute. We're gonna call Trevor Bauer a dumbass when Chris Sale went out and cut up all the White Sox jerseys. And they're gonna
That's
talk
right, he
about
did
Trevor
that.
Bauer. Hey, Bill. You know what? You're such a typical moron Red Sox fan. Is it the air or is it just that you're all stupid? I'm just wondering. Is it the water?
Well, Red
Is it
Sox
the
fans
air?
are kind of dumb because they're used to winning in every single sport. So they're like, oh, when we lose, what do we do?
They have meltdowns.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they act like children.
Losing's all right.
I guess
Bill's
Bill
character.
forgot that Chris Sale went and cut up all the White Sox jerseys. That's why they traded him to Boston. I could see how great Chris Sale has pitched against the Yankees. Boy,
This
he is just
season's- he's been so
a.
bad.
Last year he was no good either against
Yeah.
the Yankees. I mean, come on, Bill.
Well, the second half of the year, he wasn't good.
But I mean, Trevor Bauer is still a really good pitcher. He just
Trevor
got,
Bauer is would still be better
he just
than
got
any
mad.
Yankee
I don't
pitcher
know. I don't
right
know. Why did he get mad? Did he get mad because he let up a bunch of runs, or did he get mad because he was getting
Well, that's
pulled?
what
whatever.
that's what everybody's trying to figure out.
I
Was
think
he
he's
mad?
I think he's a perfectionist.
I think he was mad because he was so bad. I mean,
Did you
I
see
can
the
remember.
launch angle on that
He
throw?
was just.
Yeah. Do you
He
back in
launched
the
it.
80s, Dave
He launched
Righetti?
it.
I don't know if you remember Dave Righetti used to pitch for the Yankees. He's a reliever.
Yep.
And in 1985, they were going up against Toronto, and I mean, they were nose to nose. They had a weekend series, the final weekend of the season. And Dave Righetti gave up a home run to George Bell. And when they threw the ball out to it, the next ball out to him, he took it and he fired it over the right field into the right field stands in not an Olympic stadium. What was that crappy stadium they used to play in Toronto?
It was
The one that the Argonauts used to play in.
I don't know.
Exhibition
Hey,
Stadium.
thank you, Exhibition Stadium. Yeah,
Good
he took the
shit.
ball
That's
and
good work.
fired
That's
it.
good work out of Frank.
Yeah,
Right
He
there.
took the
didn't
ball
even
and
have to look it
fired
up.
it into the right
He
field.
just had it right there.
The right field seats, and you know what? That was classic, and nobody really cared that he did that.
And Bill Middlebrook just said Harper has been a huge letdown. A 22-year-old
Okay, well,
Devers
guess what?
has more what than him.
No, no, Devers is the best player in baseball. Just ask Bill.
Devers is good.
He's a good player.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's had one really good year now.
Good player.
That doesn't make him as
He's
good.
third baseman, right?
But I mean, what's
Third baseman.
Brad? What's the
Still can't
what's the
field.
Red Sox payroll?
I don't know. It's like
It's over 200 million, yeah.
246 million.
Number one in baseball, or is the Dodgers number one?
No, they're
Red
still
Sox.
number one.
And
And they call us buyers.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
And the
We're the-
Yankee,
yeah.
so they're the number one payroll in baseball.
And they're
Have
not-
been
and
the
they're not
last
in
3
first
years.
base.
They're not
They're not in
anywhere
first base.
near first place. They're not anywhere near the playoffs. But the Yankees are
Playoffs?
buyers, and
Yeah.
the Red Sox are just the
When
ugly,
it- yeah, but when
the,
it co-
always the
let's-
ugly
let's be
stepchild.
honest.
and
When it
always
comes
get-
down to crunch time, everyone in this area is going to root against the Yankees because
No, that's not true.
that is true.
I mean,
That is true. Tom was pounding us last year when the Red Sox beat the Yankees.
Yeah,
in the
when we
playoffs.
threw that beer bottle in the bullpen, they were like, "Look at this! If this happened to Philly,
that is
oh my
true.
God.
That's true, though. If
Wait,
that
that
did
wasn't a
happen
beer
in
bottle. Somebody
Philadelphia.
spilled a beer on a Red Sox fan.
No, when Kay Krimble was coming in, he took the bottle and just
No,
chucked
they
it at
threw.
him.
They
Oh,
threw.
did they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
It happens. It's sports.
But if that had made a much bigger deal if it happened in Philadelphia.
Well, yeah, because
But-
we threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Oh, in 1964, when the Santa Claus showed up drunk and late.
Yeah,
he deserved to get
Yeah,
snowballs.
I heard he was being an asshole too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he deserved to get snowballs thrown at him.
Yeah,
Like,
I think we were losing like 50-0 or something. He was like trying to like
didn't
do
help.
something.
well,
Yeah.
back then
right.
they did a lot. The Eagles did a lot of dumb things. I mean, trading Sonny Jurgensen was just like one of. Didn't they trade Sonny Jurgensen for Norm Snead?
something like that.
Yeah, I mean that started.
They also
that
they also
started.
didn't offer Reggie White a contract.
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
yeah. I mean, there's some.
And then
there-
Jerome Brown died.
Well, that wasn't their fault. Though.
Yeah, that wasn't
but
their
I
fault.
mean, but there's been they used to be back in the day. They used to be
All right.
the soap opera box, the soapbox of the NFL.
I'm
with some
glad
of the
I didn't
stupid
live
things
back
they did.
then.
Robert Smith. There's rumors about Houston getting Syndergaard. I know I spelled it wrong.
Probably.
If they get him, the AL is in trouble. I would agree with that, but
What's up, Chrome?
Noah Syndergaard is the crown jewel of this trading period.
Yeah, that's kind of a joke. Syndergaard's been trashed this year.
Yeah, but Syndergaard, we talked about it before the show. Syndergaard is an elite talent who just hates being on the
He
Mets.
hates
You
being
can
on the
tell.
Mets. You can tell.
I would hate being on there. There's Trevor Bauer launching the ball.
He was like, "Fuck you, ball."
Yeah.
Yeah, he apologized.
Yeah. Of course he did. He knew
Frank
he was going to
Hunter
get his
was-
ass whooped when he goes back to the.
Yeah, well,
the-
Frank
Tito
Hunter-
was hot at him.
Yeah, well, he's allowed to be.
Tito's a good manager, man.
Yeah,
Like
Tito-
every single year they're in contention, no matter how bad the situation.
Yeah,
is.
you know what? He kept the team together, and look what's
Couldn't
going
win in
on now.
Philadelphia with all those mutts he had in the 90s.
because Philly had nobody.
Yeah, but they didn't have enough.
All right,
talent.
but back to Syndergaard. I mean, there's going to be a lot of teams in on Syndergaard. I mean, I think the Yankees aren't. They probably
should.
are
They
in
want
on.
They want Gleyber Torres for him. Come
But the-
on.
but
I
the-
mean, put down the crack pipe. You're
I
not
mean-
trading Gleyber Torres
Syndergaard.
for Syndergaard.
No, I wouldn't do that either. But the Mets aren't just going to trade with the Yankees. The
Well, that's-
Twins,
that's
the
why they
Brewers.
asked
Now,
for
would
him.
I say that Torres is off limits? Depends on who you're giving us.
Give me Max Scherzer or Jacob deGrom, and
Yeah.
then we'll talk.
We'll talk. Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
but
take DeGrom.
Syndergaard,
Yeah.
forget it. Syndergaard stinks this year.
Yeah.
He can't even pitch 5 innings. He's throwing 100 pitches in 5 innings
Yeah.
because he can't throw strikes.
And he calls
Okay.
himself Thor.
So whatever. You know what? He had 2 great years, but last year and this year, he's absolutely sucked.
I think you put him in the middle of a pennant race, and I think you get a legitimate ace performances.
Well, did you ever
every fifth
consider
day.
the fact that maybe he
And if the
if he
Astros
performed,
pull
they'd be in
Garrett
it?
Cole, Verlander, and him,
They can't-
Syndergaard,
Yeah, that would suck.
that would be very tough
would
to
I
beat.
wouldn't be afraid of Syndergaard. I
That'd
would
be
be
the-
afraid.
the-
I would be afraid of Verlander and Cole. but-
Verlander always kills us.
Yeah, I agree. But
Verlander kills everybody.
Not like us.
Really good.
Like he just comes to play against us. Like it's like,
Oh, he comes to
I'm
play
going to
against
shut you
everybody.
down. I'm
the
gonna
only
pitch
thing,
one
the only
hitter.
thing, the only hope that you have with Verlander is that he throws a lot of innings, and he's a little tired come playoff time.
Yeah.
That's what you hope for.
Wish we had him. I mean,
Yeah, well, you know that's come and gone. But if
The-
you take a look at Zach Greinke is almost an identical situation that Verlander is.
David Roscoe wants the Angels to get Syndergaard.
He's
I
going
mean,
to
do
San
they have-
Diego. If he goes anywhere, it'll be San Diego because
San
San Diego has supposedly the top farm system in baseball.
They have a lot of
Yeah.
prospects.
Yeah.
My sleeper team for Syndergaard's the A's.
That would be a good one. But they play Moneyball, so I don't know if that will work.
Yeah, but maybe they can. They went for Lester that one year.
Yeah, they did. But what are they going to give the Mets for? What are they going to give the
I
Mets
don't know,
for him?
but
See you later, Bill.
The Oakland A's, they always have a good farm system.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah.
do.
I
They
mean,
do.
the
And-
fact that these guys, I mean,
You
Olsen.
know, and you know what? Thor would probably be good in Oakland because there's so much foul ball room.
To pitcher's
and-
park.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of exposure. Maybe he'd do better there. But I don't know that he, especially pitching in that little ballpark in Houston. I don't know. I mean, I hear what you guys are saying, and you know, I know I sound like a naysayer because I'm saying it, but I'm not really that worried about him. To be honest with you, I'd be more worried about Greinke. Because we faced Greinke, and Greinke absolutely shut us down.
Are we
Excuse
facing
me,
them?
in
Are we
May.
facing them this week?
I don't know. I know
Who
not,
do the
not tomorrow.
Who do the Yankees play this week?
Arizona.
Arizona, 2 games. They don't tomorrow. I know that. I don't know who
They play him tomorrow. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they play him tomorrow. I know he's not pitching
We're a
tomorrow.
minus 239 on the line. We have Jay Happ versus Taylor Clark, and
Yeah,
on
Hapless is
Wen-
pitching on Tuesday.
And on Wednesday, which a game that I might be going to, it is Greinke versus Tanaka.
Oh, boy.
Who they
Yeah.
got on the weekend?
The Red
Boston.
Sox
4 games.
at home.
Interesting.
Yep, it's
Yep.
gonna be fun.
Yep.
Sweep their asses. Fuck them.
Yep. Put them right back. Put them right back in the toilet again where they belong.
Yeah, exactly. Make them 12 games back. I'm sick of this 9 games back stuff. It's too
But
close.
I mean, in terms of the trade deadline, there's really not big names that are really going to move.
there's not.
But
You're
you know
right.
what? Especially
There's
with
really no hitters that
especially
are
with,
that are
no.
going to move.
especially with Cashman. You really never know what he's got up his sleeve.
We don't need another bat,
No.
But do you think the White Sox sell off Abreu?
maybe. But we don't really need him.
we don't.
We're talking about big picture baseball. It's not all about the Yankees.
We kind
Well,
of is right now.
Well, we're thinking, but the Red Sox want Abreu?
Maybe.
But they always
That'd be a lot
all
of
they
money, though.
talk
They don't
about.
need offense though. They're
All
they're,
they
they're
talk
set.
about-
They need a bullpen. They need
Yeah.
bullpen help in the worst way. The
Yeah,
Red
they do.
Sox.
Yeah,
But all they
their
talk
offense
about is they're not
scary.
adding payroll, and they're in on Abreu, they're in on this guy, they're on that
Yeah,
guy.
but they haven't brought him in yet. But they haven't got him yet.
I understand that.
But no, I know they're in on everybody.
What if the Phillies went in on Abreu?
No,
See, I think
They have
think
Hoskins.
I think
So,
Greinke.
Hoskins is overrated.
I think Greinke.
I know,
is the
but you
key.
just
like
went
Verlander.
off on a tangent last week about how the Phillies don't give their young players a chance to develop, and then you have them trading Reese Hoskins
Put
for Jose
Hoskins
Abreu.
back out in the outfield.
He can't
Bring
play
in
the
Abreu.
outfield, Kyle.
Who can't play the outfield? A fucking blind squirrel can
Reese
play the outfield.
Hoskins can't play the outfield.
What
He
about-
played it for 162 games last year and couldn't do it.
What about Mike Minor?
Couldn't do it.
Where does Mike Minor go?
From Texas.
Hopefully the Phillies.
Maybe the Phillies.
I think he might go to the Braves.
Really? Wasn't he already on the Braves?
Yes, he
Yeah.
started his career with the Braves.
Yeah, I think I could see. Didn't he sign a 1-year contract? He's a rental, is he not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the Braves.
Yeah,
going
because he's
after
all
him.
butthurt because they only signed me to a 1-year contract to trade me. Like, what are
No.
you, an idiot? Where you just fall off the turnip truck? Of course, that's why they signed you to a 1-year trade.
Yeah, of course. So,
1-year deal.
but
Like, hello? Like, are you dumb?
I could see
You
the
must be all
Braves-
butthurt and sensitive.
I guess my question
Sounds
is,
like a guy who can't handle a big market like New York or Philadelphia.
no, I don't want anything. I don't want anything to do with him. I just wonder if maybe Minnesota might try to get him. I mean, I don't know.
Maybe
That's,
it stinks that Gallo is hurt.
Gallo's out for a month, which hurts Texas. That kind of just ends their season now.
They were pretty.
They were
cooked
playing
before
pretty
that.
well. They were cooking,
but then they lost 7 out of 10. And
Yeah, they
that's
went
kind
into a
of it.
slump. They
That
went
was
into a
kind of
slump.
it.
But
They're a bunch of frauds.
But there's a lot of guys who you wouldn't even know about. I mean, if you remember back in 2000 when the Yankees got David Justice, nobody was expecting that to happen.
Well, we gave
Nobody even heard
we
David
gave-
Justice's name.
but we
Everybody
gave-
was talking to Sammy Sosa.
we gave David Justice to Oakland, and we paid like half his contract.
Yeah, but David Justice in 2000 absolutely got us to the playoffs
It's the show.
and won the World Series. And in 2001.
we
he
should have won the
almost-
World Series.
we
that
should've
Remember the
won the
scene?
World
Remember the
Series
scene
that
in
year.
Moneyball where he's taking BP?
Yeah, and he's
And
like,
Billy Bean.
"Oh,
comes
so you're
up-
paying me this much? So I think I am."
No, the
good."
Yankees. The
Yeah.
Yankees are paying you half
To play against them.
against you. That's
He
how
shut
much.
him down real quick.
That's how much the New York Yankees think of you. They're paying you $3.5 million to play against them.
Yep.
And David just shut up real quick. Great scene. Great movie.
Yeah.
Really
It
good.
was realistic too. Jonah Hill was great in that movie.
Jonah, I was watching The Wolf of Wall Street over the
Oh,
weekend.
he's
I know
phenomenal.
you're a big. He's so
phenom-
good.
That's one of my favorite films of all
I
time.
love the scene where they're in the parking lot and he's giving the guy Donnie.
He's just
the-
fucking with him.
What's the guy? The
He's just like, I'm
Hispanic guy,
I'm
the
waiting for you
rat
to call
hole.
my answering machine. Have I
Yeah.
still got an apology from Brad
Yeah.
yet?
He's like, you're dumb. Yeah, Brad, that's his name.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm smart.
Yeah.
I make $1 million
moves.
deals.
He's like, I'm wanting to count every single dollar. Now take it and shove it up your arse.
The guy on the
And he gets the guy
closer-
arrested.
Yeah,
Guys, the
such a great
closer
movie.
on the Pirates is another one that they could get.
Yeah, but
traded.
they're asking the world. They want the Dodgers' #1 prospect, who's a top 10 prospect in baseball. And the Phillies just don't have the goods to get that. I don't really know what the Yankees' bullpen situation is. It's pretty good.
It's not the
from
best.
Oh, no, their bullpen's pretty
well,
solid.
any contending team can.
On
can
paper,
The
it looks
Yankees
good,
have
but
a
they
real
have not
strong
been pitching
bullpen.
well lately.
Huh?
They have not been pitching well lately.
Well, they've been used a little too much. I think having a couple days off this week is going to really help.
Chapman sucks.
Yeah, Chapman's been has had a bad
The
stretch.
guy
right
never has a 1-2-3 inning, like ever. Like I don't know what's happening. Like is he like focused on his contract, opting out? Like I
No,
don't-
I think what happens is I don't think he gets used. I don't think he's being used right because he pitches once a week and he's always wild every time he comes in.
Yeah.
Because Boone needs to use him a little more often. Even if it's a non-stage, you got to get him out there. He needs to work.
And he's not pitching 100 anymore. He's pitching like 95. That's not
He's been getting up to 100 since it got hot outside.
not recently though. I mean, it's just and he always wears thermal under his jersey, which I think is really weird.
Because he wants to get all sweaty and hot so that he can throw hard because to get him loose. That's why he does that. But would you be against them bringing back Shane Green?
No. At this point, I'd bring in another arm.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Boyd, the ridiculousness of Matt Boyd with the Tigers, they won't even talk to the Yankees unless Gleyber Torres is part of the trade. I mean, I don't get why every one of these guys insists on if the Yankees don't give him Gleyber Torres, they won't even talk to him. Why? But yet then they'll give these guys away to other
it made no
teams
sense.
that aren't even
The
giving
Blue
up
Jays
anything.
and the Mets basically just gave the Stone Cold Steve Austin double bird and hit the Yankees with a Stone Cold stunner.
Pretty much.
So the Yankees couldn't improve their team.
Yep.
Even though the Blue Jays didn't make their team as good as they should have with the Stroman trade.
Okay,
And,
so
I mean,
we
are you
got,
telling me- are you
and
telling
the
me Clint
Stroman
Frazier
does
isn't
nothing.
better?
Does nothing for the Mets.
Are
What do
you
the Mets
telling-
think they're going to make a run?
three teams are involved in a Zach Wheeler trade right now. The Braves, the Astros, and the Yankees.
I don't understand why these teams trade
Forget the
within their
Yankees.
division
It's not
so
gonna
much these
happen.
days.
Zach Wheeler?
Zach Wheeler is going to end up on the Astros. They're not.
That's
gonna
kind of
deal
like
with
the
Braves.
consolation prize for Syndergaard. Like
Yeah,
if you don't
pretty
want to
much.
buck up for Syndergaard, they're just going to throw Wheeler. Like okay,
of course,
we'll do
of course,
that one.
Phillies fans are overhyping the Vargas trade on Twitter. They're like, he's going to be really good here. I'm like,
No, he's not.
No, he's not. He's going to pitch
are
5
all
innings.
Phillies fans this dumb?
He's going to pitch 5 innings.
I don't get it.
He'll give up like 2-3 runs.
They're-
in 5 innings.
He's better,
He'll
but
keep
that
you in-
doesn't mean it's a
He'll
good.
He'll keep you in the game for 5 innings, and then you're going to have to go to your bullpen.
Just
That's
like the first 2
pretty
weeks,
much-
I had to mute so many Phillies fans on my Twitter because the first 2 weeks they're like, "This team is unreal. We're going to the World Series. We're winning 5 in a row." And I'm like, "Just calm down.
Well, it's early.
Your team
April.
just started,
They
and it's
did get
cold
off,
outside."
They got off to an extremely good start.
Yeah, like I know you haven't seen any good baseball lately, but like just calm down. I know you're excited, but there's a long season. It happens a lot, and they haven't been really good since what 2012.
11.
11, yeah.
It's a long time.
11.
It's a
And,
long time.
Yeah, Ryan Howard tore his Achilles
Yeah.
on the final
That was the
out.
beginning of the
Against
end.
the Cardinals.
No, that was it. That was
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah,
Because they won the World Series and got one step worse every year.
They should have won that year.
11?
Yeah.
No,
11's
10,
the
10 was the
No,
year they
11.
had a
No,
great
11.
season.
11.
Year.
11
They won
was-
102 games that year.
11 was the 102.
They had
winning year.
Oswalt, Hamels,
Was
Halladay,
it 11 was the
and
year they
Yeah.
had those guys? Oh,
Hunter,
okay.
they had Hunter Pence, Victorino, Howard,
they
Utley,
had
Rollins,
everybody
Ibanez.
They were loaded that year.
loaded.
Just a dominant team.
That should make you sick to your stomach. I
They
know it
should've
would.
won.
And they
That
were
was the
out
year they
5.
should've won.
Goal Cliff Lee blew game 2.
Yeah, that's what Greg talks about all the time.
Yeah, he blew game 2. They gave him a
Yeah.
3-1 lead right off the bat, and then he blew it. And then they lost game 5, 1-0. Roy Halladay
On a
pitched
double. Yeah, I remember
complete
that.
game. He gave up 1 run in the first inning and shut him down, and the Yankees couldn't.
And then Chris Carpenter
Right.
was just better that day.
Was it
Chris Carpenter.
Was it Carpenter?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember going around Philly, like, everyone was just so down. They're like, oh, my God.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
to
he,
boot,
he had a great game that
to
game.
boot, you
Yeah.
still owed Ryan Howard about $95 million of the $125 million extension, and he tore his Achilles on the final out.
Yeah, and then he missed just about the entire next season, right?
Yeah, he's never the same.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, and then he was
he
grounding out to
relied
second
so
all the
much on his
time.
lower half for his power that he was just never the same.
Yep.
That was that. Utley got old. Rollins got old.
Yep.
Hamels got traded. It's a great era. They got it. They got it.
Fucking Bill.
What did he say now?
Nothing.
You got to read it.
You have
Come
to
on,
read it. You
read
mentioned
it.
his name.
He's entertainment for me because I wish I knew how to unblock people from Facebook because I would unblock him just
He said,
for
all right,
sheer.
fine. He says, see,
enjoyment.
Rob doesn't even know why he got mad. Yeah, it runs his mouth as usual. I only watch the talk to the family, but only 3 viewers. I'm out. Good night. Okay.
Only 3 viewers.
We
I'm
have
out. Good
actually
night.
5 right now.
Oh, that's on YouTube or Facebook.
This is Facebook.
What is that? That doesn't even make any sense.
I don't know. Bill, if you're there, make sense of it.
Yeah, well,
We're dying to hear your opinion on it.
It's Bill, as I said before.
So he thinks I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
Is basically what he said.
Well, everybody's an idiot, and he's a genius.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and it's
Brad
okay
Brad,
for Chris Sale.
Brad
It's
got
okay for
suspended
Chris
on
Sale.
Facebook over it.
Yeah, well, because I
How many
I called him a
suspension- how
very
many
bad name.
How many
Yeah.
suspensions? He reported you because he's a little girl.
Well, yeah,
How many suspensions is that for you on Facebook?
1.
That's your first?
Uh huh.
I've never been suspended. You got a couple.
I got suspended 5 times.
5 times.
No, that was the first time.
Tom's at 9.
I talk politics. Like, people don't like it, so they just report me.
Frank, you ever been suspended on the book?
No.
No, me and Frank have never been
Nah,
suspended.
Frank's nice.
I'll talk politics, but I'm not allowed to go too far because my wife gets mad at me. So I have to kind of control it a little bit. But whatever.
It happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to let your mouth run a little bit so you get bad thoughts out of your head.
Yeah, well,
It's just how it happens.
it is what it is.
Yep.
I think Miami is now up, 10-4 on Arizona?
Miami's
Nice.
bad, but it makes no
So maybe
sense.
they will unload. Maybe the Phillies get their hands on Robbie Ray. I'm just so like.
Robbie Ray would make a big difference in Philadelphia, no doubt.
Would he though?
Yeah, he would. He would. Come on. If you're comparing him to some of the other guys they're throwing out
I
there.
guess if you have Nola and Robbie Ray at the top.
The only problem with Robbie Ray is that Robbie Ray strikes out a lot of guys, but he has that Pineda thing going where he strikes out a lot of guys and looks spectacular, and then he gives up a lot of runs.
Robert Smith says, not that I want this to happen. I don't think Washington would do this, but I think the Yankees should only trade Torres if they get Scherzer. The Yankees may
we've
have
already
thrown
said
in a prospect.
Scherzer has back problems though. You really want to give
you
up Gleyber Torres for
you can't do
an
that
aging
now.
ace that has a bad back?
Yeah,
Yeah, he just went on the DL today, so that's not going to happen.
that would be kind of rough.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, look, I know Cashman will try to get somebody.
Yeah.
Whether he's able to do it or not,
It's
we'll
another
see.
story,
I've also heard that they do have a plan B. The plan B is if they are unable to get somebody to improve the team, that they will bring up Davey Garcia and they will give him a shot, and we'll see what happens with him. He's, for those of you who don't know who he is their number 1 prospect. He's 20 years old. He throws very, very hard. He's got a really great curveball. He's been called Little Pedro in the farm
What
system.
about
the last
Sev-
Little
where's
Pedro?
Severino?
Well, the last Little
He's
Pedro
hurt.
that they called was Severino, and Severino is pretty darn good too.
All right,
Severino should be throwing off a mound in 2 weeks.
clutch.
Betances should be throwing off the mound next week. So hopefully we'll get them out on a rehab assignment soon. If we can have them for September and then get them in the playoffs, huge boost for the Yankees.
So, Rob, Brad, Vespi, Hall of Fame game, Thursday, August 1st. Football's back.
I'm jacked. Who's playing in it this year?
It is Denver and Atlanta.
Oh, boy.
Why is it them?
I don't know. It's weird.
Denver.
Who got enshrined from those franchises?
I don't know. Well, I went to the enshrinement ceremony last year. That was fun.
Doc, Ray Lewis, good class
Doc and
last
Ray
year.
Lewis. Yeah, a lot of people left before Ray Lewis, which I thought was kind of odd, but it was most of our fan base there. It was like 50% Eagles fans, I'd say.
So they probably
we
left
really
after.
showed out, yeah.
So after your guys got put in, they left.
Yeah. Kind of classless, right?
That's
Why is
not-
it class? Who cares? It's not like a game.
But if
like,
you
why?
go to the
but
ceremony-
the Philadelphia Eagles fans are in no way, shape, or form obligated to watch Ray Lewis get enshrined into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, but if you're gonna go, I
Yeah,
mean,
but if you're a football fan, you should watch Ray Lewis get enshrined.
Well, maybe
You
they
should
don't.
let everybody-
That was a
maybe-
good speech. That was a really good speech. Dog's speech was
by
really
the way,
good,
I
too.
like Mariano's speech.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were able
I
to
watched
watch
some
it.
of that. I mean,
Mariano was good.
I'm waiting for Jeter to get inducted next year.
That's next year, yeah.
Next week, Thursday, August 8th, we have Tennessee at Philadelphia. I'll be there. And you have the Jets versus the Giants.
I might head down to the game.
The
I'm
Jets will-
going. I don't usually do preseason,
the
but
Jets will
I
get-
have nothing going
The
on.
Jets
so I
will
might
pummel
go.
the Giants.
Fire on some preseason games.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, fire. fire.
I will be at the Yankee Red Sox game on Friday night.
That's a good one. That's
a good
fun.
one.
That will be.
Rodriguez versus Paxton, I think.
Oh no, not again with Paxton.
Yeah. But yeah, the Tennessee Philadelphia at 7:30.
Well, at least I don't have to see. At least I don't have to
Carson
see
will get one
Pap
series,
again.
and I think Daniel Jones will get a lot of reps in this first preseason game for you guys.
I would think he'll get most of the reps because they don't usually use Eli more than one series a game in the preseason. So we'll see.
I hate preseason because it gets boring, but
Preseason's painful
it's
to me.
cool. It's cool to watch football coming
Yeah,
back. you know?
I can't watch it. It's to me it's really boring because it doesn't really tell you all that much.
But you could just go to the games to drink. Have some fun,
yeah,
laugh it up, soak in the hot weather. You know?
For me, it's more like cry it up. 'Cause I
it
know
is-
what I'm in. I have a.
Well,
bad
maybe you'll
feeling
find
this.
another Victor Cruz.
You
in
might be
your- in
watching your starters in preseason the whole time.
even
never
though
know.
it's
I
the
don't know.
fourth preseason
Yeah.
game.
Listen, I do think that as far as if you're going to lose players in a certain position, wide receiver is probably the easiest one to replace.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I mean that they are kind of a dime a dozen.
Anyway, 10 o'clock. That's it here for the Sports Hounds. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. See you then.